The Incredible Hulk will not be presented this evening.
Folks, it is Monday night, and we all know what that means. Football, no one's here watching. No, I'm kidding. It is Monday. We are here for the DL show. We have almost a full cast. We're waiting for Joe. I think he's coming. I don't know if I saw I had a message on Facebook, but it was from John and Ryan. Anyways, let's welcome the cast of characters. Welcome Chuck, everybody. You've seen Chuck a few times before. Welcome, Krellbach.
Hello.
Yo.
Jerry.
Hello.
Jerry.
And Zim.
Hello. Can I ask a question right off the get-go?
Right out of the gate, ask Krellbach the question.
Right. So, Krellbach's headshot in the opening sequence. How much does Krellbach weigh?
Right in that picture, I was probably 198 pounds.
What do you weigh now, sir?
Probably 245.
Oh, okay.
So,
Little swing.
I don't look as bony in the face anymore.
All right, great question.
That's quite an accomplishment, though. 195.
Yeah, I overdid it. It's like I overtrained, and
I think that's what our host weighs right now.
Yep.
After he drinks
194 today. 194 on the scale. It was 193 on Friday, and then I weighed 197 on Sunday. Don't know what the hell happened. And then I had an important business meeting, and I lost 4 pounds. No, I'm kidding. I weigh 194 today, nice. And the diet is going great. In fact, I was just telling you gentlemen, I'll tell everybody out there, for Thanksgiving, people keep asking me, well, you're going to eat something for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I sure am. I'm going to eat turkey. I'm going to eat the au jus from the turkey, the fat. And I just ordered some panko, pork rinds panko, which is basically zero carb panko. And I'm going to make fried mozzarella sticks. That'll be my treat
like the
on Thanksgiving. Now, I want to discuss something. I was kind of hard for a long time. Actually, I listened to a bunch of AC/DC over the last week. You guys remember I talked about it last week. I listened to If You Want Blood, and I was kind of disappointed in 3 songs. I think Jerry and I agreed that Whole Lot of Rosie's overplayed. The Jack is terrible, and the Rocker is just not good. However, I listened to For Those About to Rock today, which I believe I always said was worse than Flick of the Switch. And I'm still going to stand by that. I'm going to stand by it even stronger. However, side 1 is a fucking hard record to beat. Now we compare album sides, you could say, is For Those About to Rock may be the best album side of an AC/DC. Well, let's not get crazy. Back in Black is just untouchable. Yeah. But I'm just saying, For Those About to Rock, side 1 is fantastic. Side 2 is all shite. The last song, I think, is the only good song on it, Spellbound. But like COD, Care of the Devil, COD, and Evil Walks, I don't care for. Evil Walks. It's like, and breaking
They
rules.
can't all be great. You got to have a couple.
No, but then the next album, they get rid of John Mutt Lang, and they produce the record themselves. And fucking great. Flick of the Switch is very underrated. It's really there's not a bad song on the album. It's a strong album.
What's the radio hit on Flick of a Switch?
The song Flick of the Switch. And then
yikes.
Bedlam in Belgium or something was a hit, I think. And Guns for Hire. Rising Power, the opening track, to me is the best song on the record. It's fantastic. But it's interesting because don't I say
radio too?
What was?
Guns for Hire was definitely on the radio.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And you know what's funny? Because we talked about like what an album Judas Priest Point of Entry is. That side one is so fucking great. And then side two, it's like someone fell asleep at the switch. Somebody fell asleep at the songwriting switch. Hey, can we turn that talent button back on? Because these songs are starting to rot. Anyways, I thought it was interesting. All right, guys, here's a question for you. Best album side of all time. Hard question. Best album side. So it doesn't even have to be a great, like I said, like Judas Priest Point of Entry. That's not even a great, I mean, it's a good album, but that album side is up there.
Peace of Mind, side one.
Ooh.
Screaming for Vengeance, side one.
Ooh.
Animals, side two.
Animals, the album.
Yeah.
Animals, the whole album, but side two.
Zeppelin 4 side 1 says Hughes. So Zeppelin 4 side 1 is
you got Black Dog.
Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Battle of Evermore, Stairway. I pass on that. I think Zeppelin.
Couple of flimsies in there, bro.
What about the Houses of the Holy album? What was on Houses of the Holy?
2.
Yeah, Zeppelin 2 side 1 was something special.
My God.
House of the Holy starts off with I Had a Dream. Song remains the same. Then the Rain song. You know what? It ends with the Crunge on side 1. So automatically that's gone. Hey now.
What do you guys think about their live Led Zeppelin, the live album?
So How the West was one.
Song remains the same.
Nah, that's not.
Song remains the same is awful.
Although I think No Quarter is the highlight of that record.
Yeah, I love No Quarter.
I'm surprised they could play it. I wouldn't think it was the same band. After hearing that record and then hearing all their other stuff, I wouldn't have thought it was the same band.
But then How the West was one is a great live record.
How the West was one is night and day compared to Song Remains the Same. I thought. And then
Physical Graffiti side 1 says Ricky Compton. So what do we got there? We got The Rover. We got Custom Pie. We got In My Time of Dying. I think that's it. There's 3, right, on that side? And then Cashmere's on the next side with is Trampled Underfoot on that side? I wouldn't know.
Trampled Underfoot.
For me, God, I don't know what I think of the best side album would be. I'd be all over the place.
Well, you know, I was going to say the first Boston album, but that's just a great album all through and
Yeah.
through.
Well, I'm just saying a side where it was like, just what the hell?
What about the Stones with what was the record the Stones did that was so good?
Sticky Fingers side 1.
How about Some Girls?
I love Some Girls. I don't know if I would like side 1 or side 2. Side 1, it starts off with Miss You.
Yeah.
And then When the Whip Comes Down. And then When the Whip Comes Down. Before They Make Me Run. That's a great side. What else is on that side? Maybe Lies.
Well, what's the country song there? Is that on that side or the other?
Faraway Eyes. It's the last song on side 1. You're right.
There you go. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I was driving down Bakersfield one evening, right?
Yeah, it's
And a preacher came on the radio that said, "The Lord is by your side."
That was their way of playing the blues. They were playing the blues.
10 red lights in his name. Abbey Road side 2.
Yeah, Jan
That's
is
the medley,
talking Abbey
basically.
Road.
I can't argue.
What
with
about
that.
Deep Purple? Who do we think we are? Side 1. That's a great.
I was more of a Machine Head Deep Purple fan,
Head.
where you had Smoke on the Water and then I'm Lazy.
Yeah, I liked Who Do We Think We Are?
Highway Star. Highway Star, though.
Yeah.
I love that fucking song.
What's a better album, Burn or Stormbringer?
Burn. Burn. It's got Burn. It's got Sail Away.
I say Stormbringer, but that's okay. I like Stormbringer. Stormbringer has Hold On. It has Stormbringer. I mean, I love that record.
I like them both. I don't think they really drop off. They have a little different sound.
You're damn right.
Listen to Sail Away, and that's pretty fat, you know.
Things on Burn. I don't. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, I was thinking of Exile on Main Street. That's
that's a double album though. So you have to pick side 1. Would be like what's the opening track on that album? Do I even remember? Rocks Off. That's a great song.
Hugh Caldwell says Kansas left Overture side 1.
He also said Hats side 1 and 2, which I agree with. Interesting.
I enjoyed that Kansas album, Audio Visions.
Well, that's the one. Hold On.
I used to listen to that one all the time.
Audio Visions, I think, is 1980, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I
It's the
think you're
last
right.
one.
I think you're right.
It's the last one with what's his face? with Walsh.
Yeah, let me look that up. I'm pretty sure it's 80.
That song Loner. Loner. Dun, 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 dun.
Because what was the album? What's the album that has Play the Game Tonight?
That's a Queen album, isn't it?
Oh wait, there's
No,
one
that's
that
Play the
came out
Game.
who's on Drastic Measures?
Drastic Measures is Elefante.
That's Elefante.
Is Van Halen? Oh, anyway, so someone mentioned Van Halen 1, and when I say someone, I mean Jamie Fisher. So I watched a movie last night. I think it was Netflix or Prime. I have no idea what the fuck I'm watching. I just put something on my Apple TV. It was a Randy Rhoads documentary. Have you guys caught this yet?
I saw the thumbnail. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? Let me tell you what the takeaway was. Quiet Riot is fucking horrible. That's the takeaway. They show all these songs that they're playing. These songs, are you guys familiar with a band called Sparks?
Yes.
Sparks had a record called Kimona My House, and they had the song This Town Isn't Big Enough for the Two of Us. And vocally and everything else, it's all over the place. Quiet Riot makes that look like the most organized piece of music. They were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. And what was funny is towards the end, when they're interviewing Randy in the Aussie years, he says, yeah, I think it was a pipe dream thinking we were going to get signed. We were never going to get signed. We weren't good enough. The songs are just not good. But it's an interesting... now, I was talking to my friend Matt today, and Matt was telling me that there was a documentary that most of it was stolen from. It's basically borrowed from an earlier documentary that the photographer and buddy of Kevin Dubrow did. But if you guys get a chance, it's pretty good on Randy because there's some cool Randy playing with, running up and down scales where it's really good. He's a good player.
Was he overrated? Is he overrated, or does he deserve all the...
Well, here's the thing. Go play a guitar solo and double it. Mm-hmm. And good luck. That's fucking hard. So he was, and the funny thing is, I was listening to Flying High again. Mm-hmm. And then there's another song on that album, and the solos are identical. They're both the same solo. I'm like, the guy's playing the same fucking solo on both songs. And then in the movie, he says that he felt like he was rushed when they recorded, and he just played every solo just off the top of his head. It was like in the studio trying to figure shit out.
Yeah, it's
I think
true that some guitar players back in the day, they would write a lead, and that's how they performed it every time. And then there's other guys that would improvise about where
Right.
it should go, and they'd stay on the same scale and they'd improvise. But he
here's what I
actually
think of. Here's what I think of
write his
Randy.
stuff, and then in the studio he would double track that lead.
Yeah.
So it's coming
Yeah.
out of both ears.
But you asking if he's overrated or underrated? I think this. I don't think he was as good as Van Halen technically as a player. He and not to disparage him in any way when I say that, but he had the it factor that he could write a song and come up with riffs. Because remember last week you said back then Tony Iommi was just you could play anything and that would be a riff because there was no riffs before.
Right.
But I don't know if I agree with that, but
There were riffs before.
But he's coming out and playing Crazy Train. No one's ever heard anything like that. And
Right.
he was coming up with some crazy riffs, and he wrote some really nice songs. So I think that he had the it factor. Now, whether you want to say that's part of the talent of the guitar, because if we're going to sit there and say, is he technically the greatest guitar? No. I mean, Yngwie came out a year later, and the neoclassical thing was just anything. I mean, Yngwie was just stunning. But could Yngwie have done what Randy did with those two records? No.
And you know, another thing, I know a local guy here in town, and he toured with Randy Rhoads for the first 2 years with Ozzy. He was Randy's amp tech. So
yeah, he's in the
keep
movie.
Marshall's going. I told you guys
He's in the
about
movie.
this. But he talked about Gary Lowell is his name. He talked about Randy's guitars and the setup on Randy's guitars. And he's like, oh my God, those things were set up like shit. He needed a guitar tech so badly. He didn't have one. He was doing stuff by himself. And he was struggling with just, getting his guitar set up nicely.
Well, I mean, like I said, I think he's a great player. And he wrote 2 fantastic albums with Ozzy, better than anything Ozzy's ever done since. And they're historic records. And let me just welcome Joe to the show.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, everybody.
Joe.
It's a historic record. I'm talking about the Randy Rhoads documentary. Have you seen that on either Netflix or Prime? I think
I'm
it's
about
Prime.
1/3 in.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Zim was asking, do I think he's overrated or underrated? And I think, like I said, I think he gets his due. I really respect what he did. The only thing I can't understand, and I walk away scratching my head, is how the fuck was he in Quiet Riot? The band is terrible.
Yeah, I don't.
Terrible.
It is.
It's funny because the guitar tech talked about. Well, I don't want to give it away, Joe, if you're going to watch it, but there's just certain things.
No,
he had a kind of a.
You're fine. You're fine.
He had a rivalry with Eddie Van Halen, so the guitar player used to put a picture of Eddie Van Halen and tape it to his wah pedal. So every time he stepped on his wah pedal, he'd be stepping on Eddie's face.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to recreate my own guitar pedal, and I wanted to have Trump's picture on the face of the guitar pedal, and I wanted to call it the Pussy Grabber. And so it could be both for the Trump lovers, because you got a Trump pedal, but for the Trump haters, you could step on his face. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of worked with both
Make
political
everyone
parties.
happy.
Yeah.
It's a bipartisan.
I get it.
It's a bipartisan.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I got to cut in on Randy
Bipartisan
Rhoads.
pedal, yeah.
Go ahead.
I think Randy Rhoads, you nail it. Just do. Not overrated, not underrated. Very romanticized.
Yes.
At best, second best player to ever play with Ozzy. Doesn't hold a candle to Zakk Wylde. Does not. In any way, shape, or form. Even though he's on better records.
What's that?
Even though he's on better records than Zakk Wylde.
Right. But see, the whole point is, I think but we're talking about technical. And see, I think the better record is because Randy was a little bit of a better writer than Zakk and a little bit more in whatever he.
That, though. I got to argue that, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Ozzy, as a solo artist, does not have a better record than Blessed Hell Ride.
Yes. Yo, come on. Diary of a Madman's better than Blessed Hell Ride.
It's not better than Blessed Hell Ride.
Yes, it is.
No,
come on.
No,
now, see, that's speaking as a Zach fan. That's not talking about being an Ozzy fan.
I'm a both fan, and I love them both. But what I'm saying is, if you look at Blessed Hell Ride, we talk about that as a perfect record.
It's a great record,
versus
but it's
Diary
not.
of a Madman's a very good record, but it's not perfect.
Oh, it's absolutely perfect. There isn't a bad track on it.
No, but I think the tracks on Blessed Hell Ride is better.
No. I don't think there's a song on Blessed Hell Ride as good as Believer. Over the Mountain? Ricky says he wants to give it to Zach, too. I mean, like I said, you could say he's a better player. I would disagree. I think that Zach's a way technically more proficient player. But also, you got to remember, Randy died at 25 fucking years old.
Right.
And did those two records at 25. So whatever he did in those 2 years on those two albums, that's immortalized for his whole career.
That cements him, absolutely.
Blessed Hell Ride is Zach's fucking 10th album.
Right.
But my point is, if I'm going to compare Randy to Eddie, when Randy came out with Blizzard of Oz, is that playing as good as Fair Warning? The opening to Mean Streets is a face. No. I think Eddie was a better player. I think, and I'm way more partial to the Van Halen sound. There's only one thing that bothers me about Van Halen. What's that?
Taking nothing away from Randy Rhoads, but he's not in the league with those guys. He's just not.
No, because it's a different era, and also he didn't get a chance to evolve because you banged him out at 25.
He's got his right spot.
I agree. But I'll say this. I love Van Halen. The only thing I don't like are the Van Halen fanboys. Which YouTube is so filled with. I'll watch a video on mine. What I can't understand is I'm teaching a song like Sentimental Lady. Beautiful song from the 70s from AM Gold, from Bob Welch. I'm getting 100 views, 200 views. It'll probably hit like 500 views. Some guy sits there and goes, here's the secret to Eddie's sound. Guy gets 1 million views. And then you watch the video and he's talking about an EQ pedal. I'm like, hey, asshole. Eddie would sound like Eddie if you gave the guy a fucking Squire and a fucking Fender Bullet amp. Shut the fuck up with your what's the secret sauce. I'm telling you right now, I am so sick of every guitar channel on fucking YouTube. I could fucking kill them all. Metallica had it right.
Guitar channels anymore.
I don't watch them, but I see them come up in my feed with the alluring, trying to be like Eddie's secret thing, or is like, you know, the guy who does the show, The Art of Guitar. I don't know what his name is.
I watch this.
Oh yeah. The
he's like, why is it hard to play along with For Whom the Bell Tolls? I'm like, because you're playing along to For Whom the Bell Tolls. Who cares? Like, that's not a video. That's not a conversation. Take some fucking lessons. You want to figure it out? Take lessons. Get the fuck off the air here.
You suck.
I just can't stand it. I just can't stand the whole, or like, learn these 6 guitar tricks. Those are techniques. That's not a trick. A trick is pulling a fucking amplifier out of your asshole after you eat a fucking salad. That's a trick.
All right, getting back to Eddie. Eddie, how old was when the first record came out? 21, 22?
21. No, he was 20. 1955 he was born. So yeah, he was
23.
Okay. And then he wrote that shit in the years prior, 2 years prior. So Correct. He wrote this shit earlier than when Randy wrote his stuff. So
Randy joined Ozzy at 23.
Okay.
And or 22.
He's born 56. So
23.
Okay. And I think Eddie wrote cooler songs. You know?
Oh, I agree. I agree. Well, I don't know if he wrote cooler.
Superior. That's it. I'm not a fucking fanboy, but it's just like...
No, I understand, but you're also a huge fan of Billy Gibbons.
All of it.
And Eddie is the... Eddie is the Billy Gibbons on crack.
And I think Randy's great, but it's...
He's great.
You know, but there's some cool riffs.
Eddie was able
he's
to.
Now, and who was the lyricist for the Aussie shit at the time frame we're talking?
Bob
about?
Daisley.
Bob Daisley.
Oh, and now is Randy the sole songwriter, or he's just
No,
a riff
him and
guy?
Daisley.
Okay, well, all right, then it's like Eddie probably wrote with Dave
And Alex.
Eddie wrote. Okay, so
And the thing is that during that time, Eddie sat there for hours and hours with his brother on the drums. And so those two guys worked together and they played good together.
sure.
You know, where Randy Rhoads got thrown into Ozzy's band with a drummer that he had never jammed with before.
Fucking Eddie could have got thrown into any band at that point and done the same fucking thing or more. So,
Well, he did. He played on "Beat It" with Jeff Porcaro and Steve Lukather.
yeah, well, that was a session. It's not like, it's like,
Well-
Eddie, you're going to join this band and
No, but I'm just saying.
kind of like,
I don't know. I mean,
other
I
guys-
think we're disparaging people that I don't, and I'm not no problem disparaging
I'm
somebody
actually
when I
not,
think it's due.
I'm not trying to disparage anyone.
Right. I think Randy was great though.
He was.
I
But
walked away from
but
this
it is
like
like
thinking
that.
he was better than I thought he was. I walked away from the documentary going, this guy was better than I thought.
It sounds to me like your assessment is like it was a shame.
Think about if Randy had a younger or an older brother that worked with him hours and hours a day that was a drummer. Think about if Randy had an older brother that was on drums.
Is that your joke?
What?
Isn't his brother a drummer, the older brother of Randy?
Maybe that's, I have no idea, but maybe that's how
You-
Randy
oh, you
got
know-
as good as he can do.
Yeah, well,
because-
his mother owned a music school, and the older brother played drums and he played guitar.
that explains where his talent came from. You got to
Yeah, I
have
mean, he
that
was teaching
brother
at that
on
music
drums.
school.
You got to have that
Music
brother
school
on
was in
drums.
what town was that in? North Hollywood. It was in North Hollywood. And like I said, it was just it was an interesting documentary.
Yeah. it's a shame,
Speaking
though.
of interesting, I watched a movie this week, Joe, called Bloody Hell. Now, let me tell you, they have these kids wearing masks in the woods, and it looks like some spirit, some unbelievable force from whatever is pulling somebody away from the tree. Remember this scene in the movie, early on in the movie? And oh yeah, well, remember the kids, the two brothers are out there and like, oh, here he comes, and then the guy's running away, and all of a sudden you see his legs get pulled away. It looks like some like evil. It looks like something from like some spirit. Later in the movie, we find out the thing that's been capturing these people is like George the Animal Steel and Sloth from fucking Goonies Child.
Nice.
The thing was ridiculous.
Pure.
But it was supposed to be ridiculous. That was the point.
Sounds like Toxic Avenger.
I guess, you know what, when I
It was
think about
it
how
was just a dark, absurd black comedy horror.
I think that the comedy part missed me because when I think back on it, I start laughing because how absurd it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I
Well,
loved it. Did
it's
anyone else
absurd.
watch it?
No, I forgot. Thank
He's
God.
no good. No, I'm glad I watched it because anytime somebody recommends something, I want to watch it. You know, I don't know if I was getting it at the time when I saw it, but it was absolutely silly and it was just like gory at points and
But you got to admit, at least it was unique.
yeah. Oh
You
no,
know,
it was
It's not like you sat down and you knew what the fuck was going to happen the whole time.
yeah. No, you have no idea what the hell was going on. I had no idea.
That movie, I don't know if anyone saw the other horror movie. It just got released on DVD or whatever, called Smile.
Oh, is that
Somebody recommended that. I watched it, and I'm watching it as I'm watching. Okay, there's a jump. I first of all, I don't get scared from jump scares. And then when you're watching a horror movie, if you're thinking, "Oh, that's from that movie," and if you see all the movies they ripped off from to put it together,
Yeah.
I'm not happy. At least this was kind of the guy was insane.
Yeah.
You have to at least say the guy did some great acting.
It was fun.
The
but it
guy's
was just
playing himself, but he's a soldier, so he's kind
Right.
of like gone a little bit nuts, and he plays himself talking to himself the whole time.
Right.
and he's just fucking crazy.
If you want to watch
Yeah,
the
kill the-
comedic, black comedy type stuff, you watch something like Hatchet by Adam Green. It's
That was
like,
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's hysterical. That's
Yeah. Oh,
that
yeah.
Hatchet's so over the top. Well, if you want to, Dave,
Yeah.
did you ever see Tucker and what is it? Tucker and
Dale.
Tucker
Yeah.
and Dale Fight Evil.
That's a great one.
No.
That's a great one.
You've never seen that?
Oh, that's
a fucking
agree.
classic.
That's awesome.
Watch it.
The
That's
last time I
that's
watched a movie,
Go ahead.
there was somebody doing laundry. They got
Ugh.
stuck in the dryer. And I'm like, what the hell kind of movie am I watching here?
Porno.
That's what it was. It was Corey Chase getting stuck in the dryer. So Chuck brought up an interesting thing today to me, guys. Chuck said to me, you have to, I'll put it this way. We have to fire a guy in a band. Who do you fire in Led Zeppelin?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, gee.
One guy's the weak link. He's got to go.
But yeah, it basically terrific bands, but who's the weakest? Not that they're weak in any way, but the weakest.
Robert Plant goes
That-
and
for
bring
me,
in
it's
David
easy.
Coverdale. Bring in David Coverdale.
I got it easy. You're all thinking inside the box. I always think outside the box. It's my job. As I walk up the Bonham's coffin to pray, I say, "Oh, by the way, you're fired."
Great job. You're being replaced. Yeah, everyone's saying Plant.
Yeah, I would say Plant too, because I
Yeah.
mean, like,
You can't replace him.
No, you can't.
Zim says no. Zim, who you firing then?
I would have to fire John Paul Jones, even though he's amazing at everything he ever did. But he's replaceable. The other three guys were just straight up legends. You cannot replace them. Yeah, ask the average 30, 40-year-old kid that walks in my guitar store, who's the bass player of Led Zeppelin, he wouldn't be able to tell you.
So if someone comes up to you back in those days, but you're your age now, and they say, listen, we got to dye your hair brown. We got to give you a pumpkin pie haircut.
And bell
You're
bottoms.
playing bass. You're playing, we're going to give you the Lord Fauntleroy haircut.
I didn't have the skills, and he's responsible for. Yeah, that's a tough call, man, because
is
John
tough.
Paul Jones wrote so much of that stuff.
Who are you firing in Iron Maiden?
Paul Diano.
Nope, the classic Maiden. And you can't fire Janet Kurz because everyone would fire her.
That's what I was going
Nico
for.
McBrain.
You can say that, Dave. I don't know. I like Nico, but
I like him too, but he's the only guy
got
that you can replace. It doesn't change the band.
true.
Mm-hmm.
We can't fire Harris.
Can't
You know,
fire.
can't
Can't
fire
fire,
He wrote
Smith
everything, didn't
or Murray.
No,
And Dickinson you need.
Yeah.
absolutely need Dickinson.
You
Absolutely.
can't. You can't even apply this question to Kiss because they fired everybody. They're firing everybody. I'm trying to think what bands we can apply this question to.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you'd ask me to fire somebody in the original Kiss lineup. Paul Stanley's gone. Let's see. What do we got here? We got a
That's 'cause
cat.
they were behind
We
the
got a
makeup,
demon.
so, yeah.
We got a spaceman, and we got a star child.
Kiss is different because they're kind of characters, and you could just put another guy behind that.
Guys,
makeup
hold on.
and he could play
I
that
could
character.
say Queen. I could say Queen. I know exactly who Dave would say. He'd say Roger Taylor.
100%. And I never have to hear that voice again either.
Yeah,
But hold on, can we go back to my Kiss joke that went over everyone's head? You've got a demon, you've got a cat, you've got a spaceman, and you've got a star child. Why am I found that fucking hysterical.
No, when you think about it, it's kind of painful.
It's painful.
I know
You guys seen that
What the
movie?
fuck is a star child?
You guys seen that movie when he's like, come on, Star Child. When Gene says Star Child, even as a kid, I'm like, why is that faggy? Why?
Because it was.
I remember saying that to my father. Is that gay?
Why
does that guy named Paul Lynde look like the Marlboro Man? What's going on here?
Weren't their voices dubbed in for that? You're talking about like Kiss meets
Ace,
Uh,
I think.
Aces was.
At one point, there was someone wearing Ace's makeup.
Yeah, he was a black guy. He's
He
black.
didn't want to even do it.
He was so
They
fucking.
didn't
He
even
was
want to
like,
be involved.
They had stunt doubles, yeah, that didn't look anything like them.
They had a Haitian worker by. He was like, "Hey, get this guy over here. He only speaks Creole, but forget it. We're going to dub you anyway." And then they dub it with like some guy with the most absurd New York accent. They may as well have got Lenny Weinrib from fucking Time for Timer. When I get up and go, must have got up and went.
But at the
Right,
end
it
of
sounds
the
like
movie,
Ace
the
is
point
hankering.
of the movie was nobody can stand in for us. That was the point of that Kiss movie. It's us and our music. That's what makes us us. Right? And so you can't replace them. And that's what they were trying to
They
say
got
in the
replaced
movie.
quite a bit in that movie, though.
I thought the takeaway from the movie was Anthony Zerbe's excellent in everything.
Oh yeah,
No matter how
Omega
absurd
Man.
the script is, Anthony Zerbe there can save it.
Omega Man. That's
I love Anthony. You guys know who Anthony Zerbe is?
No.
I
If you
know the
see him-
name. I would know the picture, but I can't.
You've seen the movie Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. He's the guy who's doing all the insane stuff.
yeah, and you've seen Dead Zone. He was the guy who took his kid skating on the ice when Walken said, "The ice is going to break."
He's also the Torch in an episode of Cannon.
There
You got
go.
that one right. He's the Torch in Cannon. Anthony Zerbe. Oh, he's great.
There you go.
All right. What about AC/DC? That's too easy. Get rid of Phil Rudd.
Here's easy. Here's a tough one. Who do you get rid of in Pink Floyd?
The original thing.
Yeah, didn't they already do that on
Barrett?
Yeah, well, he got rid of
Well,
himself.
yeah, he fired himself.
Well, for the sake of argument, we'll call the classic lineup the one after Sid
Yeah, you
Barrett.
got to go with classic lineups. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So, well, Richard Wright was fired first.
Mhm.
But I think that was a mistake. I'd say you'd have to get rid of the drummer.
Nick Mason.
Yep. Eric Johnson says, "Who do you fire in Motley Crue?" And in that band, we're going to fire all four.
Yeah. We're just gonna hire.
You know what? My older brother just recently went and saw Nick Mason, and he recently went and saw Roger Waters, and he said that Nick Mason show was awesome. He really enjoyed the Nick Mason show. This was last month.
Nick Mason has his own band.
Yeah,
Nick
and he's
Mason
out touring.
quit during the final cut.
Wow.
Didn't make the final cut.
He quit Pink Floyd during the final cut.
And he
And-
does some stuff from his solo albums too.
Yeah. So we'll see what happened was Nick Mason didn't play on Mother on the Wall. And there was another song that had tough time signatures to go. And so they got Jeff Beccaro to come in and play. And Nick wasn't asked if he could do it. And I think that's partially Roger Waters and probably Bob Ezrin. That when they did the next record, Nick Mason said, "If you do that to me again, I'm gone." And they brought in Andy Newmark to play on Two Sons in the Sunset. And
See ya.
yeah. And so I guess when Roger Waters went solo, since Dave Gilmour never quit the band, that he had rights to the band, and that's what that whole lawsuit was about between him and Waters.
Yeah, I know, Hugh. When Cat's getting kind of clingy right now.
Guns N' Roses, I
Eric's asking
fired the whole
about Guns
band.
N' Roses.
No, really?
I don't like them at all.
I love them.
I like.
I would fire.
probably
Can
two
we
songs.
fire Duff from the radio? I'd like to fire him from Sirius Radio.
Here we go. Here we go.
3 chords and the fucking truth from that fucking commie.
You don't like his deep cuts?
Oh, it's terrible. That show sucks. What was the thing? What was the list you asked about? Oh, Dane asked if we had a list. Oh, who would you fire in the Beatles? Ringo.
Oh, that's easy.
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Fuck, in the records, you could just have McCartney play all the drums. Oh, that's another video I watched. Besides Van Halen idiots, I can't stand the Beatle idiots. This guy's like, here's the mystery. You can't unhear what I'm about to tell you. And he's asking,
once
who
you
does
hear
the
this, you can't.
does the
unhear
count?
That guy.
who does the count in on fucking Taxman? The 1, 2, 3. Who cares? That's the fucking answer. Who the fuck cares?
Who do you
Who
fire?
does the counting on Taxman? I always thought it was Lennon. He makes a case that it's McCartney. Okay. My life didn't change. I don't give a fuck.
McCartney ran that whole entire band.
It's George
That was
Martin.
his-
Oh yeah.
It's so absurd that this is a video and the guy's video is like 20 minutes long. What's absurd is I watched it
Yeah.
and I'm
Everybody
watching it
knows.
going, why does this guy care?
How many
That's
hits?
got 1 million views, that channel. He's got 1 million
He's
views. on that.
unfucking believe. People are so into the Beatles of the minutia of it. If you listen in the back of here, now there's going to be, and he was like, in the count to the song Taxman, 1, 2, 3. And when he gets to 3, you can hear in the background someone going 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's like, I think that's McCartney because McCartney has to come in with the. Who cares who you think it is? Who gives a shit?
It was Hootie
Listen
the
to the
Owl.
fucking song and go to bed.
It is
Go to
pretty
fucking-
crazy though how
It was Hootie the Owl. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 3.
How many licks does it take to get
Right.
to the center?
it
How
is
much
kind of
roll, you
amazing
never know.
though, how they would take the first verse of one song off of take 13, and then they take the second verse from take 12, and then they take the bridge from take 26. The way George Martin would piece all that together. And if I was listening to the same song for 20 takes, I wouldn't be able to remember when the second verse starts. When my band starts doing that stuff, hey, let's just play the song over and over and over again until we get good at it. I get worse every time that we play through the same song because I can't remember. Okay, are we in the second chorus now, or So that was amazing that they were able to actually know when they had a good take.
I wanted to mention Who Do You Fire from Rush?
Ooh.
Alex Lifeson.
Kind of have to, even though he's terrific.
Yeah.
They fired their
kinda.
first drummer.
John
First
Rutsey.
album was pretty good. Yeah.
Easiest one of the night.
What was
Who do
his
you
problem?
fire
He was
from
like a
Van Halen?
diabetic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who do
Well,
you fire from Van Halen? Easiest one of the night.
Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't
Van
have those
Halen.
magical harmony
Alex is
backgrounds.
incredible.
yeah, he's a great drummer. Yeah.
On what?
What?
On what?
On every
what?
Van
How's he-
Halen album.
Oh my
Half a teacher? That
Dave.
drum beat on Half a Teacher? Like,
He's fucking great. I don't know how you don't like Alex Van Halen.
Rock
He's a
was
great
the only
drummer.
one you could fire from that band.
Who?
Dave,
Rock.
no.
He was Dave. He was the only one you could fire because
Exactly.
to break up those three guys, yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
tragic.
Just need a
yeah, you
front.
couldn't.
Alex Van
You
Halen.
saw when they got rid of
mediocre at
Michael
best.
Anthony, they lost that voice, that high voice that.
Mhm.
I'd say he's indispensable next to Eddie. Michael Anthony.
Alex Van Halen next to Keith Moon looks like fucking Buddy Rich. I don't know how you say he sucks. He's
Alex
fucking
Van Halen.
great.
At his best is mediocre.
He's
And
great.
Somebody say that Alex sucks somewhere.
Yeah, Chuck does.
What's that?
A lot of people have
I
said
don't
that.
think he sucks, but I don't think he's anything special either.
I think he's great.
I mean, how much Crash Cymbal can you listen to?
Well, that's every fucking rock band. That drives me bananas. But speaking of
No,
Crash
it's
Cymbal,
true.
there's a
When they
drummer
got
from
to-
a band
when they
called
got
The
to,
Who.
like, when they got to heavy parts in the song, he would just sit and hit instead of delicately on his bell of his ride cymbal, he'd up here crashing out. Shh, you really got me. Shh, shh, shh. Yeah, he would just crash out. And you didn't hear drummers do that.
Hold on. He's got great feet. He's a good drummer.
I think he's all right at best.
Who do you fire in Devo?
Ooh,
Bob 2.
Bob 1. Wait, who's the one that passed away?
Bob 2.
Bob 2. Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Easy, Hugh. He says, who do you fire in the Police? Andy Summers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andy was the weakest link there.
I agree.
But he had good tone.
Yeah, I liked
It's
his
a-
playing still.
Yeah, it's a Strat
Yeah.
to a Fender amp. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
And his little
Chorus.
delay pedal that he used, an Echoplex.
Yeah. Interesting.
Who do you fire from Metallica?
Dave Mustaine.
Original?
The
Hetfield.
bass player.
Well, whoever the bass
Hetfield.
player is. I would fire Kirk Hammett.
Oh yeah, hamster. Yeah. Can't bend into it. I think James is a better lead player than he is.
Could
He
be.
at least plays and bends in tune.
Yeah. I saw a band the other day, and one of the guitar players can't bend in tune. It was driving me bananas. And I had mentioned it before to somebody, and then I went to see them
Poison?
again. I'm like, oh, it's a local band. Who do you fire in Siberian Orchestra? I couldn't tell you anything about that band. I can't
Hey.
listen to Christmas music played with a heavy metal backbeat. I just
I
can't
have
listen
a
to it.
friend, Sean McNabb, and he was in Quiet Riot for a while. He's a local LA guy, and he's been in Dawkins and all these. He's a substitute guy. He's
What you
actually out
talking
touring
about,
right
Willis?
now. Sean McNabb's out touring with Trans-Siberian Orchestra this year.
Wow, what's he
So-
play?
He's the bass player.
Oh, okay. So he replaced Jeff Pilson in Dawkins.
He was on and he was on the Quiet Riot 3 album with Paul Sortino. He was
Right?
on
He
that
replaced,
album. And,
who did he replace there? Rudy Sarzo?
yeah, he did some Lynch Mob stuff, and yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, Trans-Siberian had some good guitar players come through there. Alex Skolnick played with them. Al Petrelli. Who
It's
else?
the guy from Savatage,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that started it. Yeah.
Yeah, I never got it. I don't get it. It's not for me. If I'm going to listen to Christmas songs, I want to hear like Vince Guaraldi just sit and play them on piano.
Christmas time. Got the tree in the back.
Nice. Who do you
And-
fire from Black Sabbath?
Original? Ozzy, and I replaced him with Dio.
It's a tough
And
call.
when you were
I
talking
would've
about
said
getting
Bill Wood. Bill Wood.
No, Bill Ward's
when you were
terrific.
talking about getting
Oh,
rid of
I
what's
like
his
Bill
name
Wood.
from
It's
Metallica, right?
Just trying to figure for the original.
Megadeth
Yeah.
has
Go
proved
ahead, Megadeth
because we've
what?
gone through so many other guitar players that you could get rid of Kurt Hammock from Metallica and they would be okay because Megadeth has proved that. It doesn't matter. They got rid of Marty Friedman. They moved right along. Nobody really cared. Now they've
Well, I
gone
think
through,
Marty
they're into
Friedman
they're like
left.
their
I
fourth
don't think he
lead
got-
guitar player now.
I don't think they got rid of Marty. I think Marty left.
Well, right.
You can't fire
They're
me.
proof
You
that
asked about
Metallica could
Billboard Top
survive
40
without
AM radio
Kurt
70s.
Hammock. 70s hits of the AM radio hits of the 1970s.
But these songs, some of these songs are like FM hits to me. I don't get it. But it says AM. I don't know if I would
Crossovers.
call these AM songs. Yeah,
So
but
this was my idea.
see.
So if this is
AM
really a
Gold. Here we
horrible
go.
idea, you guys let me know. It's a horrible
This is-
idea.
yeah,
Good
people keep. Well, it was AM. Lost AM radio hits. No, 70s AM radio hits. Hold on.
But like Undercover Angel,
Yeah.
I met Alan O'Day.
shit like
Elton
that.
John and Kiki D.
Undercover Angel.
Don't go breaking my heart. Oh,
Midnight Fantasy.
I'm trying to see if there's a list.
junk
see.
food, junk. Oh, the best was fucking Convoy. Remember that fucking thing?
Convoy, yeah.
J.W. McCall.
Convoy. Yeah, that was great.
You might have to look for like yacht rock hits of the 1970s or something like that because they're calling that stuff yacht rock now.
Dave's a purveyor of.
Well, yacht rock is very specific to more of a. Oh, here we go. This is good. I found Casey Kasem's page. I'm Casey Kasem.
Oh, he's back.
Back from the dead.
Well, they have him on iHeartRadio.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's all
they
over
have him on
it.
all
I heard
kinds
him
of
today.
stuff. But usually it's today. American Top 40. What's today's date?
21.
21st.
November. Yeah, we're
21st.
going November 21st. That's 81. Let's go to November 21st, 1970 something. Hold on.
74.
It doesn't give me that as a. We'll go 75.
Fine.
Oh, we're getting into
All
too
right,
much disco
US.
that late. We got to go early 70s.
Hold on.
We
I
don't
don't
want to
think
deal
Well,
with
what
the
are we
disco.
trying to figure out?
so. Maybe.
What?
Oh my God.
Is it just on my end, or is Dave glitching out?
Let me go to.
Dave's glitching.
No,
Dave's
he keeps freezing.
Uh,
Mhm.
Oh, I
it's
do.
Delayed. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and you're delayed too.
Hold on. Let me try to change accounts. Hold on.
Undercover Angel, Midnight
here, right?
Fantasy.
That's catchy, man.
Am I
Really heard
glitching
it
still?
8 billion times when you were a kid.
Yeah, yeah. Move around more. Yeah, you're freezing.
I don't like spiders and snakes.
Oh,
Yeah, Safford. What was his name?
Undercover
Stafford.
Angel.
I used to
What
watch
was
his
it?
variety show.
Jim Safford. Yeah.
Jim
Yeah.
Stafford.
I don't like spiders and snakes. That ain't what it
All right,
takes.
here we go.
I like when it was on the Smothers
Why am I
Brothers.
having-
too.
Ending November 20th. All right. You guys ready? Can you hear me? I hear.
Yes.
Yep.
Can hear you.
What?
All right. Am I frozen?
You're not frozen. You're delayed.
Yeah.
I'm delayed.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're delayed.
Hilarious.
How about to the audience? Maybe
Nice.
these guys are fucked up. How about to the
Oh, wait,
audience? Am I
wait, you're
delayed
back.
to you
You're
Yeah,
guys?
it's our
You're
fault.
back.
Why? What'd you do? Now it's better.
Nothing. I can hear you guys, but my internet is. I just switched my internet provider. Like my which
Okay, you're fine now.
Well, that
Because
was
it's
the
too cold where you're at.
You fixed it.
All right.
That snowstorm coming
November 20th, 1970.
in.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Where do we start? We're not going to go top 40. Should we go top 20?
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 20. Number 20.
1970. So
What is
we've
this a
got,
list of?
71. This is the top 20 the top 20 songs of the week.
The
I bet we
Stairway to
got some
Heaven on this
Tony
list.
Orlando in there. I bet there's some Tony Orlando in there.
Dave, is Stairway to Heaven on this list?
No, don't bet.
Too early?
No, it's just it was on FM, not AM. This is like
Oh,
singles.
well, thank you for the clarification.
AM radio
These are
hits
AM
of the
singles. Number
1970s.
10, number 20
Oh,
is Al Green, Tired of Being Alone.
oh, that's a good number.
I'm so tired of
Yeah, I'm
being-
sure that was on FM too.
You know what's funny about that song? You know that song, when I down, when I down, when I said fuck her, whatever that song is by
Oh yeah, yeah.
CeeLo Green.
it sounds just like Tired of Being Alone.
Yeah,
CeeLo
well,
Green.
come on. There's only so many.
19 is Never My Love by the Fifth Dimension, which must be a cover of the
Oh.
Association.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, this is terrible. I'll tell you right now, there's no songs on here that I even like, except for number 17 is
David, what year did you say this was from?
71.
Never My Love's from like 67.
This is
Yeah,
a
it's
cover
like
by the
that.
Fifth Dimension.
They covered it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. 4 years later, and they're covering it, and they're getting airplay with it.
Yeah. What was
there's no
some
good
other
story.
tunes that they did? What was some other tunes that those guys did?
Who? Fifth Dimension?
Yeah.
Do
They
do
did the
what?
when
Age
the
of
moon is in the
Aquarius.
seventh house, Dawning of Aquarius.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
No.
did all the Laura Nyro
right.
tunes. Won't you marry me,
Wedding
Bill?
Bell Blues. Yeah.
Yeah. And they did all right, let's
They
pull a
had
list.
one more.
What do you got for a list,
couple-
Joe?
One less
Oh.
bell to ring. One less bell to ring.
Hold on, I still have that tab open from last week.
Excellent.
Where did we leave off? 1983, right? Top 10 metal albums.
Yes, go to 84.
All right, top 10 metal albums in 1984. Number
Oh, hold
10.
on 1 second. First of all, real quickly, I actually spent some time and I listened to Witchfinder General.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
It sounds like, number one, it was recorded in my garage. I cannot believe the guy who plays drums calls himself a drummer. And more importantly, I can't believe it was on that list of best metal albums from 1982. It is fucking rotten.
Dave,
But I
you
listened to it
gotta,
twice.
gotta get a shirt, Dave. Gotta get
Let's
a
at least listen to who was number one on your AM radio hits. Who came in first place that year?
The
I
1971.
closed the tab. But you know what was on there? Easy Loving by Freddie Hart, which is one of my favorite country songs. Easy Loving, so sexy looking. Oh, it's a great song if you guys don't know.
I don't even know that one.
Oh, it's
Freddie
great.
Hart.
Freddie Hart. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Best albums, best metal of 1984.
Top
Go.
10 metal albums of 1984. Starting at number 10, Hail to England by Man of War.
Man of War's on this list every year.
Well, yeah, Man of War and what is it? That other group,
Venom.
Venom? Yeah, whatever they
Yeah.
fucking were.
What happened is the manager of both those bands was hired to produce this list.
Yeah,
Anvil.
he wrote the fucking list.
They talk about Anvil all the time. Except,
Number 9 is Psalm 9 by Trouble. That's actually a great group.
I don't know.
You wouldn't know who they are. It's doom metal.
No.
I found out about them on YouTube. I like it. Number 8 is Metal Church by Metal Church.
I know a lot of Metal Church fans. I never got it.
I don't know if I've ever heard them.
Oh yeah.
Number 7 is Bathory by Bathory.
That's out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, this is like
10 best of the 10 we never heard of. Like,
yeah, this is the
You
best
really-
metal
you
in the
never-
back
you
of
never
Grit.
You never hear about them till you get to like 6 or 5. Finally making this list in 1984 at the number 6 spot, Fistful of Metal by Anthrax.
oh, right. It's the first time we've heard Anthrax mentioned.
And that's one with Cry for the Indians.
I don't think so.
What's this, 84?
Let me see.
Sounds like it would be from that era.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, because it wasn't on Spreading the Disease. That was 86.
Spreading the Disease, wasn't that their EP?
No, that was their album in 86.
Fistful of Metal track listing, Death Rider, Metal Thrashing Mad, I'm 18, Alice Cooper cover, Panic, Subjugator, Soldiers
Yeah,
of
it's
Metal,
not-
Death from Above, Anthrax, Across the River, and Howling Furies. Yeah, this was still before they were really known. This is the album cover where the badly drawn fist is coming through the guy's mouth from the back of his head.
Right.
Yeah. The next album is all right. Coming in at number 5, The Defenders of the Faith, Judas Priest.
Wow.
he's not a fan, but I am.
Number 4.
I think it would be in the
Go ahead.
top 20, but it would definitely be better than everything in that list so far.
By the way, Indians was on Among the Living.
That's it. The next one, right? 85.
No, 87.
Wow.
Number 4.
Recording is terrible.
Following up Holy Diver is Dio with The Last in Line.
Excellent record.
You could argue that could be higher.
I'm trying to think what's the best song on that album.
Ooh. Well, Holy Diver is amazing.
That's
No,
not on the last one.
I mean, shit.
Last
Last
in
in
Line.
Line is amazing.
What other tunes were on that record?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Stand up on that.
No,
No,
that's
Stand
for
Up and
that's
Shout
Holy
was-
Stand
Diver.
up, stand up.
No, stand up and shout.
That's Holy Diver.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up here. How do you not?
It's
have
a great
Recorded
songs,
in Van Nuys, California, right? At not Sunset. What was the recording studio? there
Cherokee,
in
was
Van
it?
Nuys? No, I don't think it was there. It was the one where Rick Springfield and Fleetwood
Oh
Mac.
yeah, how could I not know the rest of the? Okay, so we have the first song is "We Rock,"
Great song.
great fucking song. That's a great opener. Then we got the
Yeah.
Last in Line.
Correct.
Mhm.
Then we got Breathless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I Speed at Night.
Great
Yeah, I
song.
remember that one. Yeah.
One of my all-time favorites, One Night in the City.
Okay.
You have Evil Eyes, Mystery.
Mystery's very good.
Mystery was
Tell me
good.
a mystery.
Yeah, it's a great one. Number 8, Eat Your Heart Out.
Mm.
And then finally, Egypt, The Chains Are On.
The chains are on, right? Exactly.
Mm.
That's a great
So so FM radio played 3 of those tunes
3 or 4.
consecutively.
I remember when I was a kid, well, teenager at the fucking time. You know how you have the UHF on the TV?
Yep.
Mhm.
There was one channel at night that used to play called the Heavy Metal Power Hour. And did I fucking torture myself trying to get that in because the Last in Line video was being played and I wanted to see it. Coming in at number 3, I don't think should be higher than 5 or 4 is Don't Break the Oath by Merciful Fate.
Hey, Randy.
He had a
does
strong,
these lists.
high falsetto voice, did he not?
It was cartoonish.
Yeah.
One thing they didn't have was strong material.
Yeah. I've tried several times. I just can't get into it.
Horrible.
Can't get past the voice.
Coming in at number 2, which maybe I'm saying number 4, number 5 might be a fight for number 1. But number 2 is Power Slave, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I was gonna say it better be on the
It's on
list.
record.
That's the first concert I ever saw, January 17th, 1985 at was that the fucking place in shit? I
Your
can't
normal
remember.
tone.
I'm exhausted today. I had to take 3 Advil to make it through work. Coming in at number 1.
Hold on one second. I'm just real quick about
Right.
Power Slave. Power Slave suffers the same problem that Peace of Mind suffers. And I just want to say, because we talked about this a little bit with Chuck, I think the Number of the Beast is a perfect album. I think Peace of Mind is a better album, even though it's not perfect, because I fucking hate Quest for Fire. The same thing with Power Slave. I just don't like Lost for Words. It's an instrumental that's 3 minutes long. It just doesn't need to be there. It's like, I would call it a weak bid at Into the Arena. Right? I love Into the Arena. Michael Schenker Group.
I'll say this: that or Priest or Dio's got to be one that we've heard so far.
I don't think
One of
Priest
those
is
three.
as good as Power Slave.
No, but what I'm saying is those are the only 3 that are standing out to me. The other ones,
Right. Oh,
even
yeah.
though
The
when
others
you
are like
guy,
the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I finally remembered it was Radio City Music Hall.
Nice.
Coming in at number 1, Ride the Lightning, Metallica.
Bullshit.
Not that.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
First
I'll
of
put
all,
that
can
like
I just
5 or
say
6.
this? Number 3 on this list should be The Warning by Queensryche. It's a fucking great.
They opened for Maiden when I went to see them.
That's a great fucking record. It's way better than
Warning, warning.
Most of this is memory now. Oh, road to we're on the road to how about Take Hold of the Flame? Oh, come on. The Warning's a great album. How is that? How is Merciful Fate beating The Warning? Warning.
It's not even on the list, but let's look up
Blame it
metal
on the
albums.
Europeans.
Now let's see what they omitted, because this is where we get interesting.
Yeah, because I think, did the Scorpions have an album in 84?
I'm pulling up metal albums in
Yeah, love it.
1984.
Love it first thing.
Shit, there's a
Love
lot
You
of
Like a
stuff that should be
Hurricane.
here.
Rock You Like a Hurricane
Rat,
is on that.
Rat
Yeah.
had Out of the Cellar. Fucking
Fantastic album.
Fantastic album.
Easily top 10.
Twisted Sister had Stay Hungry.
That does not belong in the top 10.
Scorpions had Love at First Sting.
Fantastic album.
Look, even
Another perfect
Wasp-
record.
Wasp's first
Yeah,
album
Rocky, that's
came
one.
out.
What's that?
Wasp, their first
What,
album.
no,
Was
what did
out.
Chuck say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chuck, what did you say?
No, I was saying you could argue the Scorpions at one
That's fucking great.
on that list.
Quiet Riot's record came out that year.
I thought
Yeah,
they
but-
came out in '83.
Hold on a second, guys.
It's
White Snake slide it in.
White Snakes. Yeah, I was going to
That's
get
right.
to that. Yeah, trust me. There's a lot on this list we're going to get to.
That record is so good that people should learn to respect it.
If you consider them heavy metal, Van Halen came out with 1984.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call that
Not a
album
metal record.
album, yes.
Not a metal
Yngwie
record.
came out with Rising Force, which I think is a great fucking album.
Great album.
There's The Warning.
Queen's right.
Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers.
Great album.
Great,
record, yeah.
fucking
Great
amazing
record.
album.
Great comeback.
I
Great
don't
record.
know.
Absolutely great record.
Then we have Ample Destruction by Jag Panzer. Never heard of him. At War with Satan by Venom. I'm surprised I didn't make the list. This album I fucking love. Tooth and Nail by Dokken.
That's probably their best album.
I agree that is. Alone Again.
The title track.
Tooth. My favorite song they ever did, which is the best one, and I still say right now one of the best '80s heavy metal pop songs. Just got lucky. Fantastic.
Great fucking album. Great.
I think that song's fantastic. I think George Lynch's playing on that song is fantastic, and you know what I think of George Lynch.
I know what you think of George Lynch, yeah. Then we have King of the Dead by Sirathungal.
Hold on a second,
Go ahead.
real quickly. In this Randy Rhoads movie, they have a 2-second interview with George Lynch, and he's saying how Randy serves the song, and that's what makes him great. And all I'm sitting there going, then what's your fucking problem?
Oh my God.
If you recognize that somebody can serve the song, why piss and shit all over every song you've ever been on except for Just Got Lucky? Alone Again's a great solo too. I'm telling you right now, Tooth and Nail. Listen, George Lynch, if you're watching this, that was fucking lightning in a bottle. You fucking nailed that record. That record you did good.
Oh my God.
After, not so much. Before, we'll talk.
Well, what about Under Lock and Key with the Hunter and In
not
My
love.
Dreams?
It's
No,
not
hated
love.
it. Too cheesy, too over glitzy, too much reverb and chorus. Not my thing. The rawness of Tooth and Nail to me was like exciting as a kid.
It
It was
was.
raw.
I
Go
love
ahead.
that record.
Fantastic.
Well, Kiss had Animalize. Let's see. Gates to Purgatory, Running Wild, Crusader by Saxon, Morbid Tales by Celtic Frost,
Saxon pops up again.
Walking the Razor's
Hold
Edge
on,
by
Chuck, are you
Helix.
familiar with Saxon?
Yeah.
Me? Who?
Chuck,
Oh.
that song,
Saxon-
Denim and Leather, could be the worst song of all time. People always say to me, you got to hear Denim and Leather. You got to hear that great song. I heard that
That's
song.
the
I'm like,
worst
you
song of
think
all
this?
time. See, Saxon to me is in that very special. I don't even want to call them B group of metal. You got Saxon, you got Diamond Head, you got
I call that
who's
the
other one?
also
Tigers of
rans.
Panzang or whatever it is. You got
Pantang.
yeah, Tigers of Pantang. You get all that like that low grade British metal is what I would call them. They're not horrible.
Well, Maiden was part of the
years
first
ago,
wave of heavy, the first new wave of heavy metal. They're in the last wave of heavy metal.
They were a
it's Man
Canadian
of War,
band.
like you had said earlier. You know, that's that stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's go to 1985
All right.
because now we're getting close to high school senior year for me. I know
I'm a junior in 85.
you're a junior. 85?
Yeah.
Well, 85.
Well, you're our age then.
No, but did you graduate 86 or 87?
I graduated 86.
Right. So we were 85 in the fall of we were seniors.
Yep.
September of 85.
No,
It was
yeah.
7.
yeah.
You're only 17.
Let's see.
Winger.
All right. Top 10, 85, number 10. I don't know any of these fuckers.
Excellent.
I know a few of them. Pentagram Relentless by Pentagram.
recorded in their mother's basement with just a PV Bandit and that's what that. You guys have to listen to Witchfinder General from 1982.
It's a great movie with Vincent Price.
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
Yeah, it's a great.
that's where they got the name.
It's where they got the album from 1982. I cannot remember the name, and I'm sure they put out about 15 albums that year because literally it sounds like it was recorded in somebody's bedroom. It's terrible.
Check that movie out, though. That movie's great.
Witchfinder General.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I actually never heard.
Oh,
of
you got to see it. I think that was its name in Britain, and over here it's like something else, like the Conqueror Worm, I think. And basically what it is he just goes from town to town hunting witches with like this lackey. So like, oh, you can do math, we're stabbing you. It's like, you can walk across the street without tripping, we're hanging you up. Like your father didn't bake the bread right, you're a witch. Like, it was great. It was
Jimmy Ray, I had the same amp.
Witch.
Number 9, Infernal Overkill by Destruction.
Oh, that was a hit record.
Number 8, at least here's a band I've heard of. Feel the Fire by Overkill.
I've heard Overkill. They're from Long Island.
I never liked them either. I knew who they were. I never liked that.
Okay. Number
I saw
7.
them with the channel. They're nice guys. Anyways.
Number 7, Walls of Jericho by Halloween.
There was, I can't remember if that was the album. There was one Halloween album that I liked. I didn't know if it was Keeper of the Seven Keys.
Yeah, I think that one might have been it because that was a good album. Number 6, Spreading the Disease, Anthrax.
That's a good album.
Yeah. That's when they kind of get in their sound.
They're getting metal at that point.
Yeah, they're getting. Let's see the tracks on this one. You got AIR, Lone Justice, Madhouse was like their kind of first hit.
Yeah.
SSC, Stand the Fall, The Enemy, Aftershock, Armed and Dangerous, Medusa, and Gung Ho.
Armed and Dangerous, I thought, was the great track on that record.
It's also a great movie.
I love it. John Candy, Eugene Levy.
Number 5, and this could be maybe number 1 in my opinion. Killing Is My Business, Megadeth.
Great record.
Good record.
Yeah,
Real
that's
good
the
record.
one that has. That's the one that has the cover of Boots Are Made for Walking.
It's better than the other 4 coming up now. I'm telling you that much.
Oh,
Number 4, never heard of it. 7 Churches, Possessed. Number 3, at least it's a band I've heard of. Bonded by Blood, Exodus.
Not that high.
Number 2,
Movement for Job People. Go ahead.
The Megatherion by Celtic Frost.
Oh, that old record? The Mega.
I never heard of it. And number 1,
We used it as a frisbee.
Hell Awaits by Slayer.
Fuck me. All right, let's look up what came out on 85.
Yeah, I'm doing that now because this is. I don't know who made this list.
So basically, it was 3 good records that came out in '85 on that list.
Whoever made this list,
shit. Right off the bat,
was buying every album in the back of every magazine, like when you buy like Cream magazine, and it was like, ooh, send away for Venom's new record. And it's like, oh, it's called Venom. I'm going to buy it. Then you get it, and you're like, this thing sounds like shit. It sounds like it was recorded on my Panasonic fucking,
your little
that I had under Greg
track.
Brady's bed.
Here's an album I love
Ass Cam.
that was not on the list. Metal Heart by Accept by your favorite Udo Dirkschneider.
Right.
Yep.
That was kind of a pop.
Love
That
it.
was a poppy album for them.
Are you
like
familiar
this-
with him, Chuck? Udo Dirkschneider?
Am I familiar with Udo? We talk about him. I told you my bulldog's name is Udo.
Well, basically, he went to the band and he was like, I'd like to audition to sing. They're like, what's your name? They go, Udo Dirkschneider. Yeah, you don't need to audition. You're in.
Yeah.
That's a
He
singer's
was the
name.
first guy rocking all the camo everywhere too. If you remember, he had a different color camo all the time.
Yeah, all
was
two
great.
of them.
Yeah, that's because he couldn't do spandex.
Do you know what
He was a
Udo?
little too chunky.
Do you know what? Fuck, my brain's. All right, I'll get back to it. One of my favorite albums, not on the list at all. Dio had Sacred Heart.
That's the third album. I believe the guitar player on that record, is that the Craig Goldie one?
No, that's still
I think it's
Vivian
still-
Campbell.
Oh, you're right, man.
Campbell.
That's the last of the him,
It's the Tour
Vivian
Ice.
Campbell.
Engve came with has Marching Out, great one.
Marching Out's good, although it's not trilogy. It's good.
Yeah.
I like that record.
Fate's Warning, The Spectre Within. Creator had Endless Pain, an album I love. Wasps, The Last Command.
I thought Fate's Warning was an awesome band.
Never heard of this group. Manila Road had Open Gates. Maiden had fucking Live After Death. How
Yeah,
did
that's
not
a
put
great-
that on there? Even Rat had Invasion of Your Privacy was a good one.
Oh, that's what. Lay It Down. You're in Love. That
Way
makes
Cool-
number
was that
one.
Way Cool
so far with
Jr. as
everybody on the
well?
li-
Way
What's
Cool
that?
Jr. is on there too, right?
No, Way Cool Jr.'s the year a couple
Oh,
of
that's
years later.
That's awful.
Detonator or something.
I hate
Let
it.
me see. I got to look up the track listing. Get the fuck.
Yeah, look up the tracks on that.
Invasion.
Yeah, You're in Love. I like that one. Lay
Bobby
It
Tom
Down.
was on there too, wasn't it?
Right down.
Huge
hit.
Closer to My Heart. What You Give Is What You Get. Yeah.
Love
Never
those
Use
tunes.
Love. Give It All. Between the Eyes. Got Me on the Line. Dangerous but worth the. And I can't. They don't tell the rest
Dangerous
of
but worth the wait.
it. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the list.
Sit down and You're in Love.
I
is
love
great.
every song on that.
I know
Rat album.
Dave doesn't like this band, but I liked this album. Was Twisted Sister Come Out and Play?
Uh-huh. Is
Pentagram.
Burning Hell on that record, or was that on the earlier one? I love Burning Hell.
I think that's earlier one. Let's see what's on this one.
You're gonna burn in hell. No.
Leader of the pack.
See, oh yeah, they
It's
did
on-
later. Yeah.
God help them.
What were they thinking?
Pentagram had Relentless. One of Dave's favorites, completely snubbed. Motley Crue, Theater of Pain.
That doesn't
Got the
belong.
city boy blues.
Let's see. Venom had Possessed. I can't believe they didn't make the list. Saxon was back with Innocence Is No Excuse. Stormtroopers of Death had Speak English or Die.
I love that.
That's a
record.
great name.
I
That was
actually
the
remember
very
that.
first
Anthrax.
thrash album of all time. That was the first thrash album.
Sabotage had Power of the Night. And here comes Stryper with Soldiers Under Command.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Kiss had Asylum. I thought this was a good album. AC/DC had Fly on the Wall.
I listened to it today.
Love it.
Sink the Pink.
Love it.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with that record, though, and I brought this up to Chuck before the show? Fly on the Wall, Angus's amp cannot be the same amplifier that he's been using all those years, or he's putting a pedal in front of it. It is a higher gain amp on Fly on the Wall, and I am not happy about it. I don't
It
like the
might have
sound of the
been
record.
Mesa Boogie. Mesa Boogie was big in those days.
You know what it is? What do you think? With
85 it would have been the Mach series. No, it's
do you
it's
think
definitely
that-
like a pedal in front of it, or it could be like a 2210. That's what it sounds like to me, which I hate that amp.
now? Do you think they might have done that with the rising popularity of metal to get away from the hard rock and into the metal sound?
Yeah, I definitely think they were trying to modernize something. But if you listen to that, like I listened to For Those About to Rock today on the treadmill, and then afterwards I went right to Fly on the Wall, and the first note of the guitar, I'm like, wow, that's really distorted, which you never hear from Angus on that song Fly on the Wall. Yeah,
So
Eric
what-
Johnson says
what-
he agrees 100%. There's something about
What
that
amp
record.
did you think it was?
I think it's a Marshall 2210.
Oh,
Which is the JCM 800 that was the flavor of the day, the 2-channel. Well, it could be a 2-channel. It sounds like the 2-channel because
or the JCM 900 that had a gain.
900 came out in 90. So this album was 85.
So it was a
in
Marshall
fact,
where they finally put a gain on the Marshall instead of just having where you
the
had to
gain's
turn
been
it
on
up
the
loud to
Marshall
get it.
since 1974 on
Oh.
the 20. Oh, what the hell's the model called? Give me a second. Oh, why am I blanking on this fucking model? A 2203 and the 2204. The 50 watt is the 2204. The 100 watt is the 2203. That master volume came on in 74. I think it was in production on 76. And Yeah, it was a JMP, and then it became the JCM 2203, 2204, and they made the 2-channel in like 82, which was the 2210 and the 2205. I wonder what he was using, Eric, because it's interesting. Because I definitely noticed it. All right, go on. What's let's go to 86. That was the year we graduated high school.
Yeah.
Can I cut in at 86? The best record that came out in 86 was Orgasmatron by Motorhead.
That's a great fucking album. That's my favorite Motorhead
I've
album.
got stories. That one. That tape got eaten up in the Craco so many times.
Arguably a perfect record, Dave.
I have to hear it. I'd have to give it a fresh listen.
You never heard
fact,
that?
No, I
have.
have.
It's a perfect record, but I used to like Orgasm.
I'm going to do Motorhead. You know what? I'll do it tomorrow. I was gonna do Ace of Spades and the Iron Fist, and I'll throw in Orgasmatron.
Dave, you've got Riding with the Driver, which might be the heaviest song ever done. You've got Built for Speed. You've got the Claw. You've got the song Orgasmatron. The whole record is just like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom.
I gotta give it another listen. I haven't listened to it in 35 years. So.
Yeah, I haven't heard it since high school. That's what I'm saying. I also want to listen to the. I love the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to take one guess on what album is not on this top 10 of 86?
Orgasmatron.
Yeah. But leading off the top 10 with number 10 is The Dark by Metal Church.
Fuck Metal Church. I swear to God.
Dave is killing me. All right, number 9, Morbid Visions by Sepultura.
Sepultura is not bad. Sepultura is not
that's
bad.
Like their first album could be.
Number 8, Darkness Descends by Dark Angel. I don't know. Number 7, Awaken the Guardian by Fate's Warning.
Another one from Fate's Warning. What the fuck?
Number 6, Pleasure to Kill by Creator with a K.
Christ, Creator was horrendous.
Number 5, one of my all-time favorite albums, Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden.
Great record.
That's great.
Wasted Years.
That was
fucking
my top
song.
10.
Oh yeah.
Great record. Again, my issue with the album is the same issue I have with that Dawkins album that Zim brought up. It's way too chorusy and reverbed out. If they ever went back and remixed that record and took a lot of that reverb out, to me, it could be one of the best Maiden albums.
That was all the Gillian Kruger amps that they went crazy with the chorus on it.
It's just whatever the hell that was. I don't know what they were using Gillian Kruger, but it sounds like it's over the whole mix. It's on the vocal, which is what bothers me.
Beating out Iron Maiden for the number 4 spot is Epicus Dumicus Metallicus by Candlemass.
That sounds like a fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Right? Doesn't it sound like, you're right.
Pocus.
Epicus, Dumicus, Metallicus, Candlemass. Okay, number 3. I could argue might deserve number 1. Peace sells, but who's buying?
Fantastic. Eric
Megadeth.
Johnson, I think you're wrong. I think the mid-'80s were great. It just wasn't great for metal. But I could tell you some albums that came out in 86 that were phenomenal. I mean, some of my all-time favorite albums.
Oh, I already
86.
have the 86 list pulled up for the everything. Coming in at number 2. No. Rain and Blood by Slayer.
Excellent record. Excellent record.
The song is okay. The whole I have a problem with that band.
I like the
Dave,
song.
compare it to everything else on the list besides Maiden.
Well, the list. This list is like I haven't heard. I'll tell you
Are you
right
saying
now.
that better than Metal Church?
My number 1 metal album for this year in 1986, without question, is Queensryche Rage for Order.
No,
Without question.
There's some
gotta listen
stuff
to
on here
Orgasmatron.
that should be. We're going to go through this list because there's a lot of good shit that's not on here. Number 1, Master of Puppets, Metallica.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I still love that album.
I have to say, it's got to be top 3.
It's like
at
It's
least.
definitely top 5.
Jimmy
That's my
Ray
favorite
called that
album.
about 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
Right. All right. So what do
Now-
we miss from 86 in metal? Because there's a lot.
Well, are we going to, should we
Well,
just mention the
Yngwie
ones that should
trilogy.
be there? Yeah, Yngwie's trilogy.
Oh, great. That's top.
Orgasmatron should be in there.
Yeah.
Shit, I even put Black Sabbath in there with 7th Star. Judas Priest had
And there was
Turbo.
stuff.
I love that one.
Oh,
Turbo's
Turbo's
good.
underrated. It's some bad
Parental
stuff.
Guidance
yeah.
isn't.
Yeah.
Like you said, Rage for Order.
Oh, so good.
The second live show I ever saw, Ozzy, The Ultimate Sin. How the fuck is he not on the top 10?
You know why that's not in the top 10? There's a song on there called
Killer of Giants.
Killer of Giants, where he's just a whining cunt. And that disqualified Ozzy from getting that album in the top 10.
Oh my God.
If war, whatever he says about war, whatever that first line is in that song, it's like, would you shut the fuck up and sing something good?
What were the songs on the Rage of Order album?
Rage for Order opens up with Walk in
what
the
were
Shadows.
tunes on that?
Walk in the Shadows.
Yeah.
I Dream in Infrared.
Oh yeah.
Chemical
Screaming in
Youth.
Digital.
Oh, that's side 2. That's like one of the last songs. London. The Noy Regal.
Yeah, Walk in Shadows, I Dream in Infrared, The Whisper, Gonna
Oh,
Get
the
Close
Whisper's
to You.
great.
Gonna Get Close to You.
Oh, another great one.
That was
Surgical
like a
Strike,
Depeche Mode song or something.
New
was
Rigel,
industrial.
Chemical Youth, We Are Rebellion, London,
Chemical-
Screaming in Digital, I Will Remember.
Oh,
Back
it's
to back.
fantastic.
Every song
Yeah.
It's a fantastic album.
produced perfectly.
It really
Great
was.
vocals.
Dave, on the list, where would you put Poison? Look what the cat dragged in.
In the trash.
I like this is a great album. Have you ever listened to this whole album, The Final Countdown by Europe?
I haven't.
It's actually a great album. When you get past that, it's a good album.
Well, there's Rock the Night. I remember that.
Is 86 5150?
Yes, and we're getting to that. It's also Eat 'em and Smile.
Yeah,
That's a better album.
Fucking amazing.
Yep, I agree with you, Dave. I said that on the show.
How do you not put in, okay, now I'm getting pissed here. Let's see. Cinderella had Night Songs. I like that. Bon Jovi had Slippery When Wet.
Huge.
Alice Cooper had Constrictor. Tesla with Mechanical Resonance.
Ooh, that was one of my favorite set. Yeah.
Right? Fucking Tesla was
Modern
And
Day
good for
Cowboy.
Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper had a little resurgence there, kind of a comeback.
Rat
album.
had Dancing on the cover.
There you go. There's your either Way Cool Jr. or Body Talk is on that album.
Body Talk, I think.
Let's see. Where is it?
They may be on the same album. It gets to a blur for me after Invasion.
Well, I know it was in The Golden Child.
Dance, One Good Lover, Drive Me Crazy, Slip of the Lip, Body Talk, Looking for Love, 7th Avenue, It Doesn't Matter. What are the rest? Take a Chance and Enough is Enough.
Okay, so Way Cool's after that. So Slip of the Lip's a great song, and Dance is a great song. Dance, dance, dance.
Striper, To Hell with the Devil.
Except had Russian Roulette. The rest of the groups, I don't know. So I ain't even going to fucking look at them.
Striper was on there though.
Yeah.
Bad Brains, Eye Against Eye.
I tell you what, the 1987 list, I want to punch someone in the fucking throat.
I think Elroy
Like
says
that.
the boys are from Lawndale. I think Warren DeMartini's from San Diego. Do the Frank Chili songs.
You want to hear 87?
Oh yeah,
All right.
this will be Chuck's share.
Coming in at number 10,
Oh really?
Henry by Sarcophago.
Come on.
Sarcophago?
Right, that's what it looks like. Sarcofago. Number 9.
Hold on, let me just say this
Go
for
ahead.
1986, though. Let me just say this for 1986. 86 had all that metal stuff. They overlooked a lot of stuff. Peter Gabriel's Soul came out that year.
Peter Gabriel, you're talking.
David Sylvian, who I'm sure you guys have no idea, had a record called Gone to Earth. And Bill Nelson had a great record called Getting the Holy Ghost Across. But however,
XTC,
Graceland came out
Skylark.
from Paul Simon, Graceland. Back in the High Life was up with Steve Winwood. There was a lot of great music coming out in
And
86.
the Pink Floyd album was out
Color
without
Spring,
water.
Talk. I'll always talk that up.
No, that was 87. That was the Division Bill.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No,
Number 9.
No, Division Bell was later, Dave.
Oh, we'll get to the Cheech.
No,
Cheech has
look
a
at that
question.
flyer.
Distant Sound of Thunder was.
I can't even see the chat anymore.
Oh, Delicate Sounds of Thunder.
Hi,
Delicate.
Cheech.
Cheech has a great question. You guys see it?
5 albums.
Oof,
for a full-
that's a fucking fight right there.
Oh well, this
Oh,
Peter
80s
Gabriel.
decade.
That's
Top 5 of the
so.
decade.
Hey, Donnie.
Talk, Color of Spring, another one. But then I can't stick with 1986.
How about this? Because there's 6 of us in the chat. Top 2 albums from the decade of the 80s. We'll start with Grelbar.
Oh, yeah, put me on the spot. Hey,
But you just said 2 albums.
But if it's down to 2, at first it was 5. Now it's down to 2.
Right.
3. Go 3. They do 4.
Top
Do the Mount
3.
Rushmore.
All right, we'll go Mount Rushmore, boys. Mount Rushmore albums of 1980s. You have 4 albums that make up your what you
Well,
think.
you
the
said it
4
already. Gabriel
ahead.
Soul is a perfect album. Screaming for Vengeance is one of my favorite Priest album. I put that on there. Talk, Color of Spring, one of my favorite albums of all time. That's 3. Got one more.
One more now. Remember, these are not in stone. Oh, wait a second. They are. It's Mount
They
Rushmore.
are. Well, I really love that Tesla album, but I don't know if I can put that. Oh, Christ. You got me on that 4th one.
Well, say it. What the hell's the difference?
Well, I'll say Tesla then.
All right. Joe, how about you? 4 albums from the 80s.
4 albums from the 80s.
Your Mount Rushmore of the 80s.
Fuck. Well, I gotta get Diary of a Madman in there, just barely eking out Blizzard.
Okay. I'm enjoying that list so far.
I gotta get on the flip side. Shit, I may have to get in Holy Diver.
Excellent.
That's
I love Mob Rules. And just by the sheer number of times I listened to it, if I had $1, I'd be fucking retired for every time. Operation Mindcrime.
Wow.
Queensrock. Queensrock.
And
A double album even.
I should be shot for forgetting an album.
I mean, there's how do you fuck? How do you leave it that?
Excellent, John.
This is off the top.
You gave me fucking Sophie. What is it? Sophie's Choice or something?
Yeah. All right. Chuck, what do you got?
Mine.
Yeah.
Heaven and Hell.
Wow.
That's the one I missed.
Yeah.
Screaming for Vengeance.
Okay.
Peace of Mind.
Oh, wow. All metal. Go ahead.
Orgasmatron.
I knew that was coming.
No Metal
I knew that
Church.
was coming. Right.
Metal
No
Church.
Venom?
They just missed
No
it.
Metal Church.
Zim, what do you got?
And
4
I'm
albums.
and I'm with Joe. Mob Rules, Heaven and Hell. It's tough. That's a tough one.
Elroy's got a good one, but pick one more.
He has 4.
Yeah.
Where? He's got Heaven and Hell, Moving Pictures, Among the Living.
I
I don't
see.
know. I've been in a real kind of hair metal mood for about the last 10 years. So I'm gonna say Tooth and Nail.
Great record.
I
love
love
it.
that. I love the first Out of the Cellar.
Shit, same.
And just for fun, I'll say Stryper, the Soldiers Under Command.
Wow.
And Van Halen's 4th record.
Excellent. Fair
Yeah.
warning.
I guess. Yeah, fair warning.
Jerry, now this we're going to get a different list from Jerry. We're going to get a very different list from me.
Here we go.
Jerry,
I'm gonna foreign language and everything. Outlandish some more.
Police first. That's 70s.
No, it came out in 1980.
78.
Message in a bottle. No.
78.
Yeah.
But first of all,
Outlandish
Message in a Bottle is on Zenyatta Mandata from 1980. Orlando Stamore is 1978.
Oh, I'm
Regatta
sorry.
de Blanc is 79. Zenyatta's 80. Ghost of the Machine is 81.
We'll let him have it though.
Ooh, Ghost in the
Let him
Machine.
have it.
Yeah.
It's 80s.
Okay. Okay.
All right, the aforementioned Peter Gabriel, because I own that, and I
Peter
played
Gabriel,
that in my Mustang driving around town, like
Peter Gabriel,
like one of
so
those.
go on.
Is one of those. I suppose I do like that Guns N' Roses record, and that's what 86 or 7.
Yeah, 87.
Yeah, dude, I like so much more shit from the 70s to be perfectly frank.
Of course, but we're just the
I
question's
know,
the
I
80s.
I get it, and some fucking Talking Heads record or something like that.
Remain in Light's a good one.
Well, did we talk about Speaking in Tongues?
That's the live one.
No.
Oh no, it's not. You're right. Speaking in Tongues is live. Is
I own that. I own that record too.
Right.
So these are things I actually owned. But yeah, I don't know if it's like Holy Grail Mount Rushmore shit, but
so here's mine. It's
on the spot. Let's hear you, Dave.
The Blue Nile hats.
Saw that one coming.
That's number one. The Cure, Disintegration.
Interesting.
I think I'd have to go Heaven and Hell because it was such a big. Can I take it with Lady Evil? There's a lady I know who needs the darkness. She can't face the light. The fuck is Dio thinking when he sang that? All right. My last one will be
well, don't forget Death Penalty by Witchfinder General came out in 82.
That's the one I listened to. You guys have to listen to that album. You have to listen to that album. I'm going to say 81 Moving Pictures just to get it done. But I don't know if that would be the case or if it would be Meat is Murder by the Smiths. It could be. I could be all over the place.
Really? No Gabriel on that, no?
It's hard.
I love that album in 86. I just don't know if I have a Mount Rushmore if I'm putting that face on there after listening to Sledgehammer. Every album has a song that I have to think if I'm taking it on a desert island. Do I want to hear it? I don't think I'd ever listen to Sledge. I listened to Mercy Street on that album 400 times before I listen to Sledgehammer once.
For me, it's Big Time. I don't like the chorus.
I love that.
I don't
Okay,
like
so Joe, what do we got for the back on the 87 list? Let's take it back from the top because we
did we want to
get
real quick. Okay. What was the cool car that you guys had in the 80s? What did you guys drive around that was like
Gremlin
your
X,
car?
4.2 liter. I could fishtail with that motherfucker. Oh my god!
What was it?
Gremlin X, 4.2 liter engine.
I
bought it for $100 and beat the hell. If you look at my Facebook page, it's got the top chopped off, all painted up and stuff. We take it down tracks, beat the hell out of it. Couldn't fucking kill that thing.
Huh. My first car I got in 1986, and it was the car my uncle had gotten in 76. Him and his wife, my aunt, got matching cars, and it was a 1976 Pontiac Trans Am.
Wow.
Fucking beast.
Nice.
Fucking beast. I love that thing.
Yeah.
I was thin at the time because Fat Me would have never gotten in the fucking door. But okay, getting back to the list, number 9.
Anyone else have a car they drove that was?
I had a 74 Caprice Classic. Loved
Caprice Classic.
Yeah.
I drove a
Never had a
75
muscle
Cutlass
car.
Supreme.
What year?
75.
Just a cool car in the 80s that you had.
1986 Mustang GT.
I had no cool cars.
I had a good job and I bought a cool car. It wasn't a lot of money. It was like 10 grand.
I had a 77 Trans Am, Pontiac Trans Am with white with the blue interior.
Now, did you have the square lights or the round? Mine had the round.
I had the square. 77 was the first year of that, I think.
And let me tell you something. When you're driving around that thing, you've got to drive with the windows down, cranking Styx Renegade.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, the news is up. The gig is out. Eat that. Oh, it's a great tune for that.
John has a good point. We nobody said Asia, but I love that first Asia album. That is borderline could have been on my list.
I think Time Again on that first Asia album is one of the greatest songs.
I love that record.
Again.
I almost said that one.
But Bam, bam,
You
bam,
want to
bam,
get back to
bam.
the 87 list? I mean, it
Please.
doesn't deserve to get back to.
Right.
There's only one album. There's only 2 albums on here I know and like.
Wow.
Okay, so we had number 10, Inri Sarcophago. Number 9 is Nightfall by Candlemass.
Of course, Candlemass.
Number 8, Hall of the Mountain King by Savatage. Number 7, The Legacy by Testament. Number 6, of course.
Skolnick.
Yeah. I know Testament. I like Testament. Number 6 is Scum by Napalm Death.
Scum.
Number 5, I'm in there with Krellbar liking this one. Keeper of the Seven Keys, Part 1, Halloween.
That's the album I haven't heard it in years and years. I'm pretty sure that's the album that I dug back then.
Yeah. Number 4. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Number 4, I've very popular with a lot of people. I've tried Abigail by King Diamond. Number
the guy
3
who makes his list has his little clique of groups that he likes. The artist.
Number 3, in my opinion, should be number 1, barring us looking at everybody else from this year, but especially on this list. Anthrax, Among the Living. Still one of the greatest fucking albums I've ever heard. So many amazing fucking songs on there.
There's a lot of good ones on that one.
Ethel Nickel Feason, Nice Fucking Life.
Nice Fucking Life. I Am the Law.
I'm the Law.
Indians. Holy shit. Even Among the Living, from the stand.
What's amazing to me is for 87, though, that production stinks.
Among the Living?
Yeah, I think like going back and listening to it now, it sounds a lot older than 87. I thought it was like 83 because the production is just not great.
Maybe I don't notice what you notice. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, of course, has to be Scream Bloody Gore by Death.
Oh, naturally.
And just barely beating them out at number 1 is Under the Sign of the Black Mark by Bathory.
Bathory.
Now let's see what else came out in 87. Now let's really piss ourselves off.
Appetite.
I'm trying to,
right?
Okay.
Appetite did.
Well, Appetite. White Snake.
White Snake.
Anonymous.
Holy shit. Even I know you don't like them, Dave, but Girls by Motley Crue.
Big record.
It was a great album. Dream Evil by Dio.
That's it. Okay,
that's what Craig Goldie.
But it's a good album.
Yeah.
Sunset Superman. How did they not make the list? Fighting the World, Man of War.
I thought their manager did this list, and he didn't even like that album that much.
Skid Row was 87, wasn't it? That first Skid Row album?
I believe. Let me see.
89, I thought it was. I thought they were in the second wave.
You got
Skid Row is 89.
One of my all-time favorite albums didn't make the list. And I know, Dave, you probably hate it, but Back for the Attack by Dokken.
Yeah.
Kiss of Death is a great song.
I think the whole album is great.
It is.
And
it had 14 songs on it. And in 1987, when you got a record,
60 minutes of music
songs on it, you're like, dang, they could have been 2 albums.
They had that advertisement on the record. 60 minutes of music.
Alice Cooper was back with Raise Your Fist and Yell. White Lion had Pride.
Wait.
Yeah. Joe Satriani was Surfing with the Alien.
Great album.
Aerosmith had Permanent Vacation.
Yeah, not a great album.
Ozzy had Tribute,
seconds.
the Randy Live album, the double live.
Yeah, that's good.
Kiss had Crazy Nights. Twisted Sister had Love Is for Suckers. Deep Purple had The House of Blue Light.
Oh, that's a good record.
I saw that tour.
That was the follow-up.
Lizzie Borden had Visual Lies. Armored Saint. Great White had Once Bitten.
What's the Armored Saint record called? Is that Call of the Saint?
No, Raising Fear. The Saint was actually on another list, another year higher up.
I thought Armored Saint. John Bush was great. And I thought he was great in Anthrax on the Sounds of White Noise album when he replaced Joey Belladonna for a couple of years.
Now we got some good ones coming in '88. All right, who's ready for '88?
Go ahead.
Number 10, No Rest for the Wicked, Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, that was the first with Zach, I believe.
Yep.
Yep.
I remember when I got that cassette too.
How the fuck he gets beat out in the number 9 spot by Killing Technology by Voivod? Never heard of them.
I've heard of them.
But listen, they got beat out for the number 8 spot, Leprosy by Death.
Jason Newsted joined Voivod after he left Metallica for like a year or something.
Yeah, they're Canadian, aren't they?
I don't know.
Voivod.
He was like, how can I get in a band and not get paid? I know, I'll join Voivod. They never sell a record.
Number 7, So Far, So Good. So what? Megadeth.
That's a good one, too.
That's a great album. Number 6.
Wait, hold on. That's Jeff Young on that record, right?
Which one? So Far, So
so.
Good?
So Far, So Good, So What?
me
Is
see.
Jeff Young. Chris left the band before that.
Let's see. I'm looking it up now.
And the drummer's different.
Personnel. We got Dave Mustaine, Dave Ellefson, Jeff Young, Chuck Bell.
And Chuck, right. So, because Gar Samuelson's on the first 2 records, Chuck was, Nick Menza was Chuck's tech. That's how he got in there.
And then we have beating out Megadeth for the 6th spot is Slayer, South of Heaven.
I'm not
Number
Slayer.
5, great fucking album, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
That's a great record.
Iron Maiden.
And what's
However,
odd, that's 88. I'll tell you what's odd about that album. The production is far better than Somewhere in Time. Now, I don't know if in Somewhere in Time they were trying to make it sound futuristic, so they were putting all that chorus and reverb on it for that effect, or it was just...
Might have been.
Yeah.
I
love Stigmata, Heinebohm. The opening track on Land of Rape and Honey.
Well,
you run out of life. You've run out of life.
Beating out Seventh Son of a Seventh Son for the 4th spot is Blood, Fire, and Death by Bathory.
Oh, Bathory.
Of course.
Another one.
Number 3, Keeper of the 7 Keys Part 2, Halloween.
I wouldn't know what that one is.
Neither did they.
Number 2,
the first one.
And Justice for All, Metallica.
I like that album still. It's not my favorite.
It'd be nice with some bass on it.
You know, I like Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. That's about it.
And number one,
really ignore them all.
Number 1, I'm not going to argue with this. Operation Mindcrime, Queensryche.
I'd argue with it. I think Mindcrime got a little silly for me. I liked some of the hits. I Don't Believe in Love. I just can't stand like when the car, you can hear the electric window on the car go down. And he goes, Mary. Oh, give me a fuck. I mean, the acting going on in between the songs.
It was a concept album. You can blame all that on Pink Floyd. All those horrible
musical theater.
Albums.
Pink Floyd doesn't do it like musical theater. Queensryche did.
Blame that shit
At
on
any
Pink Floyd.
time
And Bob
in that
Ezrin.
album, I was waiting for what the hell's her name from Hello Dolly?
Carol Channing.
Thank you. I'm waiting for Carol Channing to come out because sometimes Jeff Tate sings like Carol Channing.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
And I'm waiting for him to come out and be like, oh, Meryl.
Well, Channing's in Greece.
What's that?
Well, that was Stockton Channing. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just got a picture of Carol Channing singing Operation Mindcrime.
That'd be great.
We might as well wrap up the night with the top 10 from 1989 and wrap up the 1980s.
All right.
And I can tell you right now, there's only one group on this list I've actually heard the album of.
Winger.
Oh.
Holy shit. Okay, coming in at number 10, Agent Orange by Sodom.
Oh,
I
yeah,
opened
there's
up for
nothing
Agent
like
Orange.
a metal band named Sodom. What's that?
Yeah, that's not metal. They're like California punk.
Number 9, Symphonies of Sickness by Carcass.
Another uplifting title.
Number 8, World Downfall by Terrorizer.
Jesus.
Number 7, Slowly We Rot by Obituary.
Oh, what a
I've actually heard of Obituary.
Number 6, they just came out with an album. Number 6, Horrified by Repulsion.
Repulsive.
Unbelievable.
Number 5, The Years of Decay by Overkill.
Oh, of course.
Number 4, Street Cleaner by Godflesh.
A street cleaner.
Number 3, the only album I know on this list, and I think it's a great album. I don't know that you would call them metal, though. The Real Thing by Faith No More.
The real thing was with Epic.
Yeah.
You
Falling to pieces. Falling
it
to
all,
pieces,
but you can't
Yeah.
have it.
Falling to Pieces is a great song.
Yeah,
on that
that's a
record.
great album. But it wasn't metal, though? You think that- I don't-
What's it?
War
What
Pigs,
is
didn't
like
they?
all.
Yeah.
Number
Back
2.
and
War
forth
Pigs.
and round and round. Yeah, I like them.
I thought it was a great album. I don't know that I don't know that it's metal. All right.
I know Krellbaum once mentioned he liked Midlife Crisis better,
Yeah.
but I
he
think
does.
this album was a better album. I think Midlife Crisis has a few good
Oh,
songs that were
I
better.
liked Angel Dust better than The Real Thing.
Angel Dust. I meant.
Yeah.
I called it.
I
Midlife
like
Crisis.
Angel.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of good songs on that, but I think the other album was a better album.
Coming in at number 2, Beneath the Remains by Sepultura.
Oh, of course.
And number 1, Altars of Madness by Morbid Angel.
So
Actually, Trey Azagov for that band. He's an interesting guitar player.
I got to see what other albums came out in '89 that are considered metal.
well, the thing is, I don't think that list combined. This list might be like, here are the best metal albums of '89 if they collectively only sold 100,000 copies.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, come on, looking at some of this. You got Alice Cooper came out with Trash. That's a great fucking album.
Winger.
Oh, come on. Tesla had the Great Radio Controversy.
That
And
was
then on
89.
the top, that's 1989. Skid Row had Skid Row.
Yeah, that's a good record.
Let's see. I'm not so sure about this one. Black Sabbath had the Headless Cross.
Yeah.
Aerosmith had Pump. Oh, here's a fucking album that's great. Badlands. You like that album, right, Dave?
Yeah, that's what's his face?
Jake.
on guitar.
Jakey Lee.
Yeah.
Jeff Martin.
Let's see.
Drums.
Yo, what year was Dehumanizer by Sabbath? Because
That's
I
a great
really like
fucking
that.
album. I
record.
think that
90
was
or
93.
91. Oh, really?
Was it
That
91?
90s?
Hold on, let me look it up.
I thought it was 90.
That's
or
one of my
91.
favorite albums.
Man, that's good.
You know, so
And the-
many people
the
don't
bass
even
player
realize
in
that's
Badlands.
a 1992, released June 22nd, 92.
Really? I thought that was before that for some reason.
Yeah, that's a
fucking
great
years
fucking
ago.
album.
The bass player from Badlands, Craig or Greg.
Jason.
He manages the what's
Phoenix
the name of
Mixer.
the Central Phoenix Bizarre Guitar down in Central Phoenix. He works.
Oh,
in
he
guitar.
does?
I thought you were gonna say Cheesecake Factory, Dave.
The Cult
Yeah,
had
I know
Sonic Temple. Let's
That
see.
was a good
Minis-
record right there.
Which
I
one?
would
Sonic
consider it
Temple?
metal.
Yes, sir. The Cult.
Yeah,
That
that was a good one.
Firewoman.
Ministry had The Mind is a Terrible Thing to Taste. A band I always hated, Great White, had Twice Shy. One of the greatest fucking albums ever released, in my opinion. King Zex had Gretchen Goes to Nebraska.
Yes.
Does anyone
I
else
don't
like
consider
that
it metal.
movie?
I don't
Was
consider it
Dogman
metal.
on
Well,
that song?
I
No,
wouldn't consider it
Dogman
metal,
was on Dogman.
I'm telling you, though, it's
Is
one of the
Black
greatest
Flag on
fucking
that
albums
one?
ever. Which one?
No, Black Flag was on I can picture. I think it was just called King's X.
Here's my problem with King's X.
Hmm.
Everything's flat. There's never anything like, did she wore a black flag in the whole song? It's like It's not. It's like they auto compress themselves with their energy. I just find them to be completely low energy for songs.
Well,
that
I
could be
think
like-
Gretchen's a far better album than that one. I believe the title of the album is just King's X. There's a picture of
No,
a
I've
kid.
listened to
you know what it
Gretchen
is?
because Bingham made me listen to it one time, and I was like,
Dave, they were the precursor to Typo Negative. That's all.
Typo Negative. I don't
Yeah.
see any correlation there. I
No,
like
they're
Typo
more
Negative.
Flat.
I've got Typo Negative's box set. I love Typo
Oh,
Negative.
flat.
you
Flat.
bought the
Snake
box
had
set.
slip of the
So what
tongue.
happened, Krell? By you were one day saying, you know what? I don't own anything by Typo Negative. I think I'm going to own everything by Typo Negative.
The Bloody Kisses album was very like orchestrated and stuff, but the one Slower, Deeper, Harder, what was it? Whatever. There's a song on there. So friggin' hilarious. It's like I know you're fucking someone else or something.
That's an old comedian's bit, Joe, when a guy's like, you know, the Oak Ridge Boys came up with a 7-disc set. I don't own anything by the Oak Ridge Boys. I think I'm going to go buy everything by the Oak Ridge Boys. Oh, it's a fucking great band.
White Snake had slip of the tongue.
Yeah,
Nah.
which the
That's
the
just
only
Steve Vai.
decent song on that album was Fool for Your Lovin', which the better version is on Ready and Willing from 1980.
Well, the original version, they played it in the key of G, but
It's
slip of
in
the
A.
tongue, they went up to an A.
Yeah, it's in A in both.
It is?
Yeah, it's just slower.
Oh.
And over the
We
last
used to
2 weeks,
cover
ladies
that.
and gentlemen, those are the top 10 albums of metal for every decade, every year in the 80s.
Wow.
According to whoever wrote this fucking list,
Yeah, the Bathory lover.
Venom
Every-
Lover.
Oh,
Venom
great
and
tune.
Bathory.
Every year he had the same friggin' bands. This is it. Saxon, Bathory,
Metal
It's a great
Church.
tune, isn't it?
Metal Church.
All right, so before we go, Joe, you showed me a couple of cigars. I'm just going to say this about the Monte Cristos, and I'm sure Chuck will agree. They really don't get. There's no good Monte Cristo unless you're getting it out of Cuba. The Monte Cristos are just a wasted. It's a brand that is living off the name of the Cuban brand.
Yeah, I'm bummed. I'm bummed because I haven't been able to smoke a cigar. It's too friggin' cold out.
Oh, I got a space heater from Target. I'm going to go smoke one right after this show in my garage. Chuck, what have you been smoking? Why don't you, because we haven't really talked about what Chuck, or since Chuck is new to the show, Chuck, what have you been smoking lately? What have you enjoyed? Last 4 cigars you've enjoyed.
Well, very partial to the hot cake.
Hot, yeah,
Hot
that's
Cake
the
60.
HVC
I
hot
like
cake.
that one. I like that one.
Incredible. The Plasencia 1898 Reserva.
Excellent.
Incredible.
Maybe I'll smoke that right after this.
What was the other one we had, Dave? That broadleaf one we had.
That was just called the HVC Broadleaf special.
HBC broadleaf.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to think of the one that Carl gave us with the Aztec head on it.
The Olmec.
The Olmec. Yep.
That's from Foundation Cigars. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The
Excellent.
Olmec is, if you guys can get them, try one. They're great.
It's an expensive cigar, but it's good. Krellbau, what have you smoked lately?
Oh, geez. The last one I smoked was probably the Kintsugi.
It's a good cigar.
I had the hot cake as well. That was very
Okay.
good. The Cameroon, which I have. And I like the El Hoyo de Monterrey double Coronas.
Yeah.
That's
That's a Connecticut light blend.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to tell you, I've been smoking so many heavy cigars with Chuck lately that my mouth is like getting burnt out on the heavy. So I started smoking some lights, and now I'm enjoying both light and dark. But for a couple of light cigars, the Roma Craft and Temperance EC18 is fantastic. I also smoked this week the Tatuaje Cabaguan 52, which was the cigar you got me at that time I played with Emily Krell.
Oh yeah, that was a recommendation by some guy in New
So
Hampshire.
that's a great cigar, but I even found a better one, the Tatuaje Tuxla T110. Same size. Nathan smoked 2 this week of that, Chuck.
Mhm.
It's a small,
Really?
petite Robusto, but it's so good. And other than that, the same as Chuck. I've been enjoying the Plasencia 1898. I smoked the Black Friday HVC the other day, the 2022, and I did not like it.
Didn't have it yet.
I didn't like it.
Hey, I did
Another one I
a restring. I did a restring for one of my customers today, and he owns a cigar company. And I'm like, man, I know this guy. YouTube with him, and he's like, I could actually call him and ask him what his company is. It's only 8 o'clock.
Yeah, let's find out. He owns a cigar company.
He owns a cigar company. Let me see.
Not Fox.
No, I don't know what it's called. I'm gonna ask.
I still have some of the Foxes in my humidor.
Yes, everyone. That Joe said. You can talk over people when we do this. You don't have to type.
So you were talking cigars. Everybody have a happy, healthy, and blessed Thanksgiving. I got 2 more days of work, and then I'm on vacation for 11 fucking days. Thank
Awesome.
God.
Congratulations.
Then I'm going to be having my cigars that I've been holding on to.
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be somewhat warm on Thanksgiving. I think in the 50s, I might be able to go outside.
Saying low 50s, right?
Yep.
All right. I got to get going.
Can you guys hear that ringing?
Got to get to bed.
All right, Joe.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you, Joe.
Joe, nice
Everyone,
talking to you,
we want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, a healthy, safe holiday. Eat lots of food.
Yeah.
I will not be. I'm dieting, and I don't care.
No, you could eat.
Oh yeah.
As long
No,
as
I'm gonna eat. I'm telling you what I'm eating. I bought pork rind panko, and I'm making mozzarella sticks with turkey. That'll be what I'm eating.
Now I got turkey loins. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make them in the grill, my air grill, and then wrap them in bacon.
Oh, that's bacon. So good.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm telling you, the fat is and when you're dieting and you're cutting carbs, eating fat is the most important thing.
Oh.
You should have some cheese with it too.
Yeah.
You said that you're gonna have the au jus drippings or whatever. What I like doing is if I have some of that left over, is I take the dark meat by around the thigh and let it soak in there, and then like after that, it just becomes soaked with the grease, turkey grease.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get Zim's info.
Zim, you can put your stuff in the chat. You know, you don't.
It's on the bottom scrolling.
There you go,
folks. If you need to get a hold of Zim, there's Zim's guitar. I should have had it scrolling the whole time. My bad.
You know, they sent me the label to send that guitar back, but I love the fucking guitar. Isn't there something else I could do? Do I gotta maybe if I jiggle the wires again?
You can try that, or just take it to somebody and say, "Fucking solder this fucker."
Yeah, I'm thinking because if
Or
you know
put one of those old Squires
feels
that you own.
perfect, it just feels perfect when I'm playing it.
Right.
Put an old Squire in the box and ship that back to him.
It's not a bad idea. All right, anyone? Chuck, you want to say anything to anyone before we go? I'm going to go around the horn, make sure because this is the end of the.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope everybody's healthy and has a great holiday. And Dave, I think I'm the only one here who doesn't play guitar.
Yeah,
you know, but just because to show you, you know, it's okay. The drums are all right too.
Yeah, it's all right.
So
it's not a requirement.
Guys, can't wait to get involved again.
All right. Hey, well, every week we're here, so hopefully you'll be here. Jerry?
Yeah.
Anything?
I've been kind of carb free for the past week or so.
Nice.
It's been working out pretty well. I've had a couple instances where I just fucking ate some Swedish fish, though, Dave. You know, I went right to the fucking hard stuff.
Wait, you can eat fish?
You know what I mean? But, you know, days on end, carb free, and then, you know, a couple little slip ups.
Yeah.
But I've been walking. And the other thing is I've maintained my 1 meal a day thing. So I'm still eating in a window, even though I fucked up. I fucked up at the end of my window. But that all being said, I've exercised throughout. Peace out.
Are you a pork rind fan?
Yeah.
That's a good snack.
Okay.
That's a snack you can snack on and be like, guilt free, no carbs.
You get the ones that you microwave there, they puff up in the microwave, and you can have them nice hot out of the bag.
Or you can also go to Whole Foods and get pepperoni, all beef, uncured pepperoni, 0 carbs. Zero. It's good.
So, Dave,
All right. Yeah.
No. But
Go ahead.
just the pie, the inevitable pie, right?
What pie?
There's going to be blueberry or custard.
I'm not eating anything.
I understand that, but what if somebody who was, doing what you're doing, right, and then you
Don't
face
eat it.
that challenge,
I would say don't eat it.
and you do.
Well, then you're gonna feel
It
like
happens.
shit.
Metabolically speaking, what's going to happen?
Your insulin's going to spike. It's going to make you want to eat more sugar.
Yeah.
You're going to store it as fat. The point of what I do when I do carnivore is to, first of all, if there was insulin resistance, to get rid of any insulin resistance.
I understand.
And basically regulate my body to just eating proteins and fats and not eating carbs.
Correct.
So, like in the morning, let me just say this morning, so I had short ribs. I made short ribs and I put eggs on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so fatty. And I was so stuffed from just a few bites. So then I drank a bulletproof coffee with 2 tablespoons of butter and MCT oil. And I was off to the gym and worked out like great.
Right.
Got out of there. That was at 10 in the morning. Got out of there. When I came home after teaching today, I think it was like around 5:30 when I decided I was going to eat again. So that's 7.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I had a burger with bacon and cheese. Cooked in bacon fat.
Yep, that's how I'm doing things. Everything's with bacon, and then
Yeah, and I'm not craving any sugar.
And satiates you and all that. However, I just
but I don't crave sugar, and I don't care for it. Like ice cream to me doesn't interest me. Sugar doesn't interest me. It just
never has.
Of course it has. But my mind, once I turn that switch, I'm done. I'm a disciplined fucking asshole. You know what I mean? I'm serious.
Well, I'm coming from the other perspective. I can maintain for days on end, and then I just
be careful, Jerry, because the thing is, if you do cut out the carbs and you go into ketosis or whatever, you literally will get sick if you start munching on carbs.
Yeah, well, you don't feel well.
Blue again. Sure. It's like, you will. I mean.
But it
won't make you feel good.
The main thing is when I say, are you in my carnivore group on Facebook? The main thing is watch those videos, because there's videos about sugar, about flour, about seed oils. And after you watch it, you're really going to look at it like rat poison. And at that point, when someone says, do you want just a little bit of rat poison? I'd be like, yeah, I'm all set. I don't need it. That's how I look at it. I think the sugar,
hooked on the
all that stuff. So it doesn't even interest me at all. Let's put it this way. I went to a restaurant the other day. You know the place in Hingham, Burton's?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Why?
So I went there and I ordered a steak. I ordered the
that's why.
The ribeye. Mm-hmm. And I told the woman, I'm allergic to seed oils. She's like, well, they use it they only spray the grill with it. I said, they can't. She's like, you're going to have to get it pan-seared in butter. I said, absolutely. So they pan-seared it in butter. And then she was like, well, what do you want for the sides? And I said, well, I see you guys have bacon cheeseburgers. I want a side of bacon. She was like, I'm going to have to charge you for it. I'm like, that's okay. That's what I had, a steak. And I went out of my way. And let me tell you, she was trying to make me feel like an asshole telling her I was allergic to fucking oil. I didn't care. It's poison. And she was a fat cunt to begin with. Look, she's going to sit there and tell me how to fucking eat. I'm like, look at you. Look like a fucking mess. That's what I said to her in my head. No, seriously. But I'm looking at her like, you're looking at me funny, like I'm being a pain in the ass. You are a fucking troll.
All right.
You are.
I get it.
You are the antithesis.
I get it.
To fucking Viagra. You fucking make a guy go limp just looking at him.
Dave's going to take her home and render her.
Yeah, I was really exactly. I'm like, can you imagine how much fucking tallow I can make out of this fucking girl's ass? was ridiculous. But anyways, and I'm only saying that to be mean because she was a fucking cunt to me. She was like, "Oh, you're allergic to seed oils?" I go, "Yeah, now fucking deal with it." Like, fuck you. But I got what I wanted. It was made in butter. I wouldn't eat any of those oils. If you have canola oil at home, if you have cottonseed oil, corn oil, whatever the fuck it is, throw it out. It is fucking poison.
Olive oil's fine, right?
Olive oil's okay. It's not great. It's
Avocado.
better if you have no avocado sucks. If you have olive oil and it's cold pressed and it's one country of origin, that's great to eat cold, but don't cook with it.
I got a jar saved up now of the bacon fat. Bacon. I got that.
I have bacon fat and fucking beef fat for fucking.
You could also use butter. I got a jar of ghee.
Oh yeah,
I got that. Did you have any bathroom trouble?
No.
Because all the videos I had watched, they were all talking about getting the runs like legendary.
No. Never had it. Not from that. No.
I don't know what they must have been. They must have been eating some kind of poison.
No, it's just is a sensitivity people have because it all depends on how fucked up your system is. But what they say is your stomach has microbiomes and your intestines have bacteria that feed on sugar. And so when your body stops eating sugar, those bacteria die. And that's got to go somewhere. Right out the back.
I've been slowly getting off of that for a long time before I finally hit and I'm not doing the carnivore extremely hardcore. Like, you know how I was cooking with the mushrooms, the onion, and that? I'm down now to just the green olives.
Okay.
And when I feel like it, I'll weed those out too. Like tonight's dinner, I don't even have the you know how I was having the I'd make that dip with the cream cheese?
Yeah.
Cream cheese got too much ingredient. I switched to sour cream.
Good.
It's got one ingredient.
Yeah. And no carbs.
And no carbs.
Yeah. That's the important thing.
I hit a milestone today. I pulled a pair of shoes out from the closet. Now, I don't go out often, so I don't wear shoes often, but I had to take the pail in and it's been raining and shit. I'm like, fuck, I wonder if they'll fit. Because the last time they wouldn't fit. Not only did they fit, they have room in them.
Nice.
I couldn't even get them on my feet the last time I tried.
Wow.
No.
My clothes are starting to get all drapey on me.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm not trying to win the race fast.
No.
I'm just eating normal. And that's the best
thing.
Just
enjoy it. Yeah.
It comes off without doing anything.
My waist right now is a 31, which is nuts. It's nuts.
I was a
30. You don't have to freeze it, Johnny. What happens is because beef fat and pork fat are saturated, they can't really oxygenate. They can't really go bad. So you can leave it on a counter for 6 months. If you put it in your fridge, it's good for at least a year.
Yeah, I put it in the fridge.
Yeah, I always throw mine.
But you know what's funny? It's getting cool down here, even in Orlando. And I noticed the jar I have out of coconut oil, that's almost solid.
Yeah.
And it's only hitting like 70 degrees in the house.
Yeah.
Now, is coconut oil okay?
Yeah, coconut oil is a complete saturated fat. It's coconut oil and palm oil. The only problem with coconut oil and palm oil is they're still nutrient deficient because pork fat's going to have vitamin A, D, and K2. Yeah. That's the only difference. But it's fine to have because it never goes bad. And it's not, there's no rich in omega-6, which is what the poison is.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe. No, it's all right.
Now, I was going to say, I'm not great with supplements. Like I have a multivitamin, I have fish oil, a vitamin D, and a zinc. Is there anything else you think I should add?
Say it again. Which one?
I have a multivitamin.
Uh-huh.
I have a vitamin D, a zinc, and fish oil.
I do C. I take a lot of C, but you don't need C if you're eating a lot of red meat, but I take C. How fast do you fall asleep?
Pretty fast. Within about 10, 15 minutes.
Do you stay asleep? Do you stay asleep?
Yeah, I wake up once or twice during the night, but that's Mikey screaming or just me needing to reposition if it's hot.
So, Cheech, omega-3s and omega-6s, they usually should come in food as a 2-to-1. 2 omega-6 to 1 omega-3. The problem with those oils is they're like 30 to 1. And the high amounts of, and you don't burn them. They store in your cells. Now you can release them if you're not eating them, but if you're constantly eating them in oils, they go into your cells, they get into it, and they fuck everything up. And let me just say this, like what Hugh just said, saturated fat, people told us they were bad for us. Before 1900, saturated fat was the only fat we had. And since then, they've been telling us it's bad. Yeah. Since they've been telling us it's bad, type 2 diabetes emerged. There was no such thing before that. There was no such thing as a coronary heart attack from the arteries. None of that ever existed before unsaturated fats.
But you know what it is? When you read or see a video about how these cocksuckers hijacked the quote-unquote health system, and then they made what was really healthy outlawed, and the shit they could sell to make you die. Like, look at that fucking food pyramid.
It's they turn it upside down. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unfucking believable.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Everything. It's literally like the Matrix. You swallowed the fucking pill.
Right.
The pill's got nothing but saturated fat in it. And now you're seeing like, what?
And I'm going to post a video in the chat.
Don't have a piece of meat bigger than the palm. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to post a video in the chat. You guys should all watch this video. If this video doesn't disturb you of what's going on, then you're crazy.
But how many fucking times am I going to watch this bitch stuck in the dryer, Dave?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the video I have? Oh, that's it. All right. So this is Corey Chase. No.
Corey Chase.
Check out this video. This is a doctor named Chris Kanabi. And he will go into a 45-minute lecture on seed oils, flour, and sugar. And if you watch the whole 45 minutes and afterwards, you will have no problem ever walking away from sugar, flour, or seed oils. It is fucking disturbing what he shows in this video. He's an ophthalmologist who does surgeries and specializes in macular degeneration. And yeah, it's incredible. That's definitely a video to watch. And then the other video is a 2-hour movie called Fat Fiction, which is a free documentary you can watch on YouTube. Yeah, that's a great one. But this one really goes into the science of how things work. And it's really great. I love Chris Kanabi. Yeah. And Chris Kanabi isn't a carnivore type guy or even a keto guy. He thinks you can eat whatever. And he shows that there are many diets. There's the people of Maasai who eat like carnivores. And then the tribe next to them are almost all vegetarian, but eat animal fat. And both are like super healthy. And he basically says, all you need to do is avoid these 3 things: seed oils, sugar, processed sugar, and processed flour. Anyways, guys, watch that. I'd like to know what you think of it. Okay. It's a great video.
Okay.
All right, everyone, we're calling it a night. I got to go smoke a cigar.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone here. Chuck, I'll see you, tomorrow night? And Krell, you coming down tomorrow night?
Nah, probably not tomorrow night. I got some things to do, but I'll be down one of these weeks.
Is one of them watching somebody get unstuck in a dryer?
Speaking of which, I got clothes I got to throw in my dryer when I get off here.
There you go.
I hope I don't get stuck.
Thanks, Annabomb. All right, everyone. Very good. Let me find my outro and we can get the hell out of here.
Bye.
Goodbye, Ted.
Where is goodbye, Ted? I think it's right here. All right, guys. Very good. Peace. I'm out of here.
Okay, goodbye, Ted.
Goodbye.